Hello, everyone. It is day 4 of our National Stamping Month extravaganza event. September was National Stamping Month, and that is where we had an amazing special called Say It With Style. And we had 4 exclusive workshops, all designed by makers or independent contractors. And we have been teaching them all this week. So we had a workshop on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and today is Friday here in North America. Happy Saturday to all of those. I was going to say in South America, in Australasia.
Starting out well, Monica. I feel really good about today.
In Australasia. Hello, hello, hello. I'm Monica Wihangi. I'm the president of Close to My Heart, and I am going to be doing some of the lesson for class today. I'm going to be teaching you and training you with cutting all of this that we need for the workshop today. And we also have my fellow teacher and friend, Karen Pedersen.
Hello, everyone.
So happy to have her in studio, and she's going to be teaching you all the stenciling fun and how to put the cards together. We also have Ashley here, who's behind the scenes running all the equipment. So happy to have her here as well. And a little bit later, I believe Cassidy's going to be joining us to help us with comments. And so bring in all your comments and things like that. We'll try to do our very best to help you along the way. So first, let me introduce, before we get started on the cutting part of this workshop, let me introduce our founder and CEO, Jeanette Linton. Jeanette is the owner of Close to My Heart and started this business in this industry over 39 years ago. So thank you to Jeanette for bringing all of this to all of us. All right, we also have giveaways. That's right, lots of fun giveaways. We have 2 actually, one after my segment of teaching and one after Karen's segment. These are free to you, and this is how you qualify for the giveaways. You'd like this video, comment or share with your friends. Not or, and you do all 3, and that puts you in for the drawing of the giveaways, and we will put your name on the screen once I'm done with the segment, and you'll know if you're a winner, okay? So do all these things. Like this video, comment, and share with your friends, and you are in the drawing for free, fun products. So yay! All right, well, let's take a look at this gorgeous workshop that we're going to be doing today. We have these beautiful cards. There's 4 designs, and you actually have enough product in your product bundle for this one. This one's called It's Your Day.
It's your birthday.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Go shorty. Okay, that's right. So this collection here has 4 of each card in that bundle. We're going to be teaching how to make 1 of each of these cards, and then you can just repeat after that. And we're going to be teaching you how to use our exclusive stencils, the exclusive stamp set. It is so awesome. We would like to give a special thank you and shout out to the maker who designed this, Janice Gilhooly. Yay, Janice! And she is in Australia right now. Well, that's where she's from. So we're so grateful for her and for her beautiful creativity. Love these cards, and we're excited to put these together. So Karen's going to be teaching how to do all the stenciling and putting the cards together, and I'm going to be walking you through the cutting of this workshop. So let me first tell you that we do have a printed, or not a printed guide, we have a guide that we provide digitally for this workshop, and you can print it. We have ours printed, and that's what we're following along. We're using the guide that Janice designed herself to put this workshop together. This workshop is still available. It's your birthday, so you can find it under the promotions tab at the Close to My Heart website or your maker's website, and click on Say It With Style, and you'll see all of the breakdown of all the workshops we've done. It's been so much fun to spend this time with you. We're excited that we're on day 4 and ready to rock and roll with our cutting. So let me go ahead and move these cards off to the side. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. Let me bring that in. I have the aluminum rail cut paper trimmer. That's the one I'm using. It has the foldable, retractable arm, so I'm putting that out. We also have a stack of cardstock that was provided as part of this workshop. So let's go ahead and put our paper in the order. Not only are we going to be cutting down our paper, we're going to be labeling them and putting them in piles for each project. What I like to do is I have, oh, just lost my sticky. I've got sticky notes with a number on them, 1 through 4. I've spread them out through my work surface here, and I'm going to make piles for Karen so that way when she starts building the cards, she has what she needs. So I'll be labeling them with a pencil, so you want to make sure you have that. I have one right here. And then also, so I did the sticky notes, the pencil. I think we're ready to rock and roll. Oh, we're going to be using our die cutting machine because we have die cuts. So this is the exclusive stamp set that comes with this collection. And then inside are the metal dies. And we call those thin cuts. We're going to be using these thin cuts to prep, and we're going to be doing some stamping as well for Karen. So that she has all the parts and pieces for this workshop ready to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with cutting our 12 by 12 beautiful cardstock. So we're going to start off with White Daisy cardstock. Let's go ahead and actually put the cardstock in order of what we're going to cut them with, okay? So we've got White Daisy cardstock is our first cut. So I'm going to put that off to the left side of me. So I'm putting them face down in the direction or in the order that I need them. So we've got White Daisy cardstock, White Daisy cardstock, White Daisy cardstock, and White Daisy cardstock. So that says 4 White Daisy cardstocks on the first sheet. Oh, and here's the 5th. 5th White Daisy, 6th White Daisy, 7. Lots of White Daisy. You know what that means? Lots of stamping too. And card bases for stenciling. So you have 7 pieces of White Daisy cardstock, and that's what we're going to be cutting first. Then after the White Daisy cardstock, we do our Journey cardstock, which is the color of the year. You can see here is the dark color, the dark side, which is the true side. This is the true color of Journey. And then on the back side is a lighter version of that color. All of our colored cardstock comes in this two-tone way, and we love, love, love that. Our cardstock is printed color, custom colored or close to my heart, and that means that the inside of our cardstock is white core, which is really awesome. Then we have 2 pieces of Glacier, and we're going to be using the true side, so the darker side. We're going to put those face down here, and then we have the black cardstock, and this is printed cardstock as well, so the core of this cardstock is white. Okay, so here is my pile that I'm going to be cutting. So let's go ahead and go back to the beginning and start our cutting. We're going to be also making piles for the die cuts, right? For the thin cutting that we need to do. So let's go ahead and do that as well. And I'm going to be checking things off as we go. And let's start with our first White Daisy cardstock piece. So our first cut is going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I start with the 5 1/4 cut. So 5 1/4. And Cassidy's here in the house.
Hello, hello, hello.
She is here.
We're excited for day 4. Can you believe it?
I know.
Oh,
it's
my
so
goodness.
fun. Okay, so if you have any questions or anything you need clarified, Cassidy's your gal. She'll be in the comments as close to my heart to help you answer any of those. All right, so here is our first cut, and this goes to card 1. So I'm going to flip it and do 1 here. So we're going to put that in our 1 pile, and we're going to do that again. We're going to go to 4 inches. Let's go ahead. Here we go. And we are doing card 1. That goes in pile 1. Now we have this piece left over, and this was already cut. Let's see if it's at 4 inches. No, we're going to have to trim it just a little bit. Let me put my phone on silent mode. My watch, sorry. So my messages don't pop up. And we're going to go to 4 inches on this one. Quarter by 4. What did I do? I feel like I cut that wrong. Huh. Oh, we didn't need this piece. We're going to use this piece actually for die cutting. So save that piece. You don't need this piece here. Okay, let's do the next cut we're doing is 5 1/4. I'm like, wow, I'm already starting off with the wrong
day
cut.
4.
The wrong cut. My eyes are a little wonky. All right, there we go. Now we're going to go to 4 inches twice. 4 inches twice. 1, 2, and both of those, and this is going to be for our thin cutting pieces. This goes to card 1, okay? Card 1. So let's do 1 and 1. Hey, Cass, would you mind grabbing my glasses? I'm sorry, I always forget those. They're somewhere in that brown bag on that chair. Okay. So we've done that first piece. And then we should have leftover pieces that we're going to use for thin cuts. Okay? Thank you, Cassidy. Like, I'm fine to see everything except for the tiny little lines on my paper trimmer. The little eyelashes. All right, second piece of white daisy cardstock. Here we come. Okay. Our first cut on this one is going to be 5.5 inches. 5.5 inches. And we're going to 4 1/4 twice. So 4 1/4, 1, and 4 1/4, 2. This is going to be extra for die cutting. Then these two pieces here are card 2. So you don't really have to flip them over. Don't tell me why. I don't know why. It's a habit from the colored cardstock. So I'm writing 2 and 2 on these, and these go to card 2. Now we're going to do that same cut again. Let me just mark those as done. And we're going to go to 5.5, 5.5 by 4 1/4 twice. This is an extra piece. So let's go to 4 1/4 twice. 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. Okay, we need this for thin cutting. And these two pieces are for card 2. Okay. Those got like card bases to me. Okay, next up, we're cutting white cardstock still. Remember, we're doing 7 pieces, so we're on piece 3 right now. We're on piece 3, and this one's going to be 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. So let's go to 3 1/4. Hold on, they go all the way through. There we go. And 8 1/4. So we've got 8 1/4. Okay, this is for die cutting. This piece is card 3. That means it's a slim line. And now we're going to do that again. We're going to actually do it 2 more times. 3 1/4 is our first cut. And then 8 1/4. This is for die cutting. This is card 3. We're going to do it again. 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. Extra piece, and this is 8 1/4. And this is for die cutting. So I've got quite the little pile here for die cutting, okay? We want to save those. We may even need this one, so I'm going to save that too, just in case. Okay, this is card 3. So you've got 3 now, 3 of those card 3 faces. Okay, we're on number 4 of white daisy cardstock, okay? Making sure I'm keeping up track. Okay, 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. Make sure. So let's do 3 1/4. Go. 3¼ by 8¼
We have several people in the comments that have ordered the kit since we've been crafting this week. And I just wanted to remind you, these videos will be available on our homepage here under videos, like wherever. So
Nice.
whenever you get your kits, come back, cut along, craft along, and we'll be here.
Right. That is right. Okay, that was the last of that slimline card base. And now we're going to do another cut, which feels familiar, but it is different. So be careful. This one is 3½ by 8½. And the reason it's larger is that it's for stenciling. Okay, so we're going to do 8½. So this is 3½ by 8½. And then you have this left over for die cutting. So this piece here is actually for card 3 still, but this is a stenciling piece. The others were for card 3. This is a stenciling piece. So it's a little bit wider and a little bit longer. In fact, you know what? To help Karen, and maybe even you, if you're cutting everything and then doing it later, let's go ahead and write the measurement on this one so that she knows the difference. Okay, so I put the measurement on that one. So I've got them there in a separate pile. Okay, we're going to do it again, 3½ by 8½. So let's go ahead and do 3½ as our first cut. And we're going to do 8½ now. This piece is for die cutting, and this is for card 3, and this is the 3½ by 8½. Okay, so you should have 2 of those pieces. Now we have this piece left over, and we're actually going to do some little cuts on this one for those little sentiments that say like happy birthday, like this one right here. This says happy birthday, so we're going to cut paper to fit that exactly. So we're going to do a 1/2 inch by 2½ inches 4 times. Now, the way that I like to measure the 1/2 inch marks, because it's so small and gets a little wiggly, is I'm going to actually use the measurement on the outside of the rail. And here's the 1/2 inch mark because that's the 1 inch mark. So I'm going to the 1/2 inch mark on the outside of my rail instead of the inside of my rail, which is how I normally cut paper, because I get more control because I got the thickness of the paper on the left side. So I'm going to go down. Here is what I've been able to cut. So this is a 1/2 inch strip, and here's extra. So let's put that over in the extra pile. Now I'm going to cut this to 2½ inches 4 times. And the best way I have found to control these little smaller, skinnier pieces is to put this up. There's like a little groove here, a little stand that stops the paper from shifting and moving. So I've put my paper up against that piece, and I'm going to go up with my blade, and that gives me the 2½ inch strip. So this goes to card 4. So I'm going to put it right there. Actually, I'm going to write 4 on this. Let me write a little tiny 4. And we're going to do it 3 more times. So we're going to go to 2½ inches. And remember, blade up. And this is 4. We're going to do it again 2 more times. 2½ inches. Blade goes up. Flip it over. Right 4. Third one, and 1 more. 2½ inches. And the blade needs to go up. This is extra, and this piece is 4, and that gives me 4 pieces of that. Okay, we've got all that done. We've got all those fun little die cuts. We're going to go back to our instructions to do the die cut, so don't keep it too far away. We're just going to keep cutting, and then we'll do all the die cutting together. Does that sound good? Let me put all my little pieces of White Daisy die cut paper together so I can have that pile there. Hold on a second. Okay. We are cutting now the 4th piece, 4, 5, 6, no, 7, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 5. 5 of White Daisy. We're going to do 3½ by 8½ 3 times. 3½ by 8½ 3 times. So 3½. by 8.5. This is for stenciling. Oh no, actually this one is for stamping. Oh, we need a separate pile for stamping. I'm going to do my stamping pile over to the left. This is for card 3 and it's for stenciling. So 3, and we're going to do 3.5 by 8.5. That's a stenciling piece. Okay, we're going to do another 3.5 by 8.5. 3.5 by 8.5. Okay. This says stamp only, do not thin cut. So we're going to put that off to the side. Okay, this is for card 3. And this is a 3.5 by 8.5. Okay. So that is those 4 pieces for stenciling. Now this next cut is the same measurement, but this one is actually for card 4. So let's do 3.5 by 8.5. And this one's for card 4. This is not for stenciling, this one. So this has a 4 on the back of it. We put it in pile 4. And then this piece says card 4, stamp only, don't thin cut. So I'm going to do 4. I'm going to write 4 on the back of these just so I can keep track. So 4 and 4. Okay, these are for stamping. Okay, and this was the extra piece of that. Okay, let's move on to the next White Daisy cardstock piece. We're on cardstock piece 6 of White Daisy. And now we're going to do, let me make sure, 3.5 by 8.5 3 times, all for card 4. So 3.5 by 8.5 3 times by 8.5. Okay, this one is for thin cut, so I'm going to put it in my thin cut pile. This is for card 4. Now we've got this one, and we're going to do 3.5 by 8.5. And this is for die cutting, and here is for card 4. Okay, one more for card 4. We're going to do another 3.5 cut. Three and a half by 8.5, and this is extra. Let's do 8.5. And this is for die cutting. Then this is card 4. Okay, we've got 4 of those pieces. All right, now we're moving on to the last White Daisy piece. And this is actually all for die cutting. Woo. Oh, okay, so let's cut this in half. We're going to do 6 inches. There we go. And you should have 2 of these pieces. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do some die cutting. In fact, I think what I'm going to do, let's see, 2 inches, 2 inches, yeah. Okay, I'm going to go a little rogue. We're going to do 2 inches.
We love going rogue.
Oh, let's hope I don't regret it. I
Don't
hope you
get
have an extra
crazy
White
now.
Daisy cardstock. Okay, 2 inches. 2 inches. Just on this piece, okay? The other one we're keeping whole because what I'm going to wind up doing is I'm going to be bending these in half so I can get 2 die cuts out of one, you know, roll through. So that's the goal. Let's see if that works. All right, we'll put that over here. We're going to keep this because we're going to be doing some die cutting of these. Some of them have stamping, some of them don't. We'll get to that part in a minute. Let's finish cutting our cardstock. Okay, next up is the Journey cardstock. And this one is, first cut is 4 1/4. So let's go to 4 1/4. Go. by 5.5. And we're going to use the dark side of this one, or the true color. And that means we're writing the number on the light side. So that goes to card number 1. Okay, we're going to do that again. We're going to go to 5.5 inches. This is extra, and this is for card 1. Beautiful cards. I love this journey color, so pretty, vibrant. And then we're going to do it again, 4.25. By 5.5. Just go ahead and do it while we've got it here. Slide it all the way to 5.5. Okay, this is extra, and these two go to card 1. So we do a 1 and a 1, and those go in my 1 pile. Okay, now we have this piece, and this is going to be for thin cutting as well. It's going to be, let's see, this was, inches is this? Yeah, it's a 12-inch piece. So we're going to cut it into 6 inches because I'm going to, again, fold this in half to get what I need out of these pieces, okay? I should have practiced that way, but we're going to just go with it. Okay, now we're going to cut our 2 glacier and black. So let's go ahead and bring in the glacier. Pencil likes to roll. We're going to go to 3.5 inches. Oh, this says light side, so we need the light side up, okay? I told you wrong. So 3.5 inches, light side up. And this is going to go to 8.5 inches. 8.5. This is extra, and this is for card 3. Oh, silly me. Good thing I didn't put a lot of pressure. We need the light side up. So let me flip that over and write 3 on the back. There we go. So this is for card 3. There we go. Pile needs to be straightened. Okay, this was extra. Now we're going to do that again. We're going to do 3.5 inches on the light side and 8.5 inches. This is extra. We're going to write 3 on the back of the light side. Okay, now we're going to do another 3.5 inches. This is extra, and go to 8.5 inches. Gotta love the slim line. This is extra, and this is for card 3. Okay, one more piece of glacier. Light side up. We're going to do 3.5 inches. By 8.5. Extra, and we're writing card 3. So that was our 4th piece of that. Now we're going to do some squares. These are all 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, and we need 4. So let's go to 1 3/4. This is extra. So you get a nice good piece of glacier there. And then we're going to go to 1 3/4. So perfect little square here, 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is extra. All right, so let's go ahead and write card 3 on all these squares. We're writing 3 on the dark side. Okay, got it. Okay, that goes to pile 3. And then we have 1 cardstock piece left to cut down, and then we're going to have a die cutting party. Die cuts galore.
Woohoo!
Die cuts a go-go. Let's see, what else can I come up with? So many die cuts. And then do some stamping. Okay. So we're going to go to 3 by 12. So let's do 3 inches. Okay. 3 by 12. 3 by 12. So we're going to be using this piece to mat time to celebrate your special day. So let me pull in the card to show you what we mean by that. I mean, so inside of these cards, I didn't show you this part. Oh, I should show them. Let's go under the close-up really quick, Ash. So here's the outside of the cards. They're so beautiful, right? But look, bonus, you get inside of the card too. So this is why we're doing so many thin cuts, because we're doing
So
outsides and insides. See that? Look, how fun is that? So each of these cards have an outside sentiment and an inside sentiment. Oh, sorry. Here's that little frame that I was talking about. So the way the instructions read, it says to do it this way because this is the piece that we cut down, and then Karen's going to bring the trimmer back in and cut those down as well. Right, Karen? That's what the instructions say anyway. We didn't discuss it, so I'm happy to do it if you want me to.
No worries.
Okay. And then you've got the inside of this one, which is awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead and cut. So that's why we cut it this way, because then you're cutting once you put those other ones. We'll go back to the main overhead, Ash. There you go. Okay. Now the next cut that we have, so this is for stamping, basically. We'll put that on the stamping side. The next thing we're going to do is 5/8 by 2 5/8. Now the 5/8 is the long line. Oh, I should probably go under the close-up. Can you see that okay? Hopefully. Okay, the 5/8 is going to be the long line between the 1/4 inch, which is this one. I'm using the outside measurement because I can control the paper better. The 1/4 inch and the 1/2 inch. No, it's the 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch. It's this long one right there. So you got this dark long line here, which is your 1/2 inch, and then this is the 3/4, which is the long line. So it's the middle long line, that one that doesn't go all the way down. Okay, let's do that one. So we're going to measure there. Make sure it's all the way lined up straight, and that is 5/8. Okay, so that's 5/8. Then all the rest of this paper is extra. And then we're going to do 2 5/8, 4 times 2 5/8. So we're going to go to that longer line in between the 1/2 inch and the 3/4 inch, which is this line right there. Okay. And we're going to do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. Okay, so that's the leftover piece. So those 4 pieces there. Okay, we'll go back to the main camera, and then I'm going to move all of these over to card 4. Okay, we're done with this for right now. Let's go ahead and move that off to the side. I'm going to bring back my instruction sheet because now we've got to go backwards to know what we're die cutting, okay? So we're going to have our die cutting machine. Here's our close to my heart die cutting machine. Ooh, got some washi tape there.
I'm going to link it one more time.
Okay, yeah. This is the indispensable die cutting machine. It is awesome. We love it. And just really quickly to show you, the handle is removable. It has a little lever here that you push down, and then you stick that onto that and it locks it in. When you get it in your box, it actually comes inside of these compartments. So you get your instruction booklet and your handles inside the compartments. I like to store my washi tape on one end. And I store my handle because this is on my desk and I have a tight space and I don't like this taking up so much room. So I take the handle off and store it, and then I just put it back on when I need it. Also, this is set at, here, let's see. It's set at die cut and 0. So that's where we're at today. And then when you put these down and lock these in, it makes it so that your trimmer is suction to whatever surface you're on. It's not totally suction, like it still, you saw like wiggle a little bit, so it can move. And it also depends on what it's on, if it can like get that suction or not. We're also using our platform and our, it comes with the platform and it comes with our cutting mat. You can see ours is very well used and very well loved. And it works great. So we're going to use that as well. I didn't mean to make that dramatic slap down, but that was just for dramatic effect. So let me move this over just a little bit. Okay.
We've pinned in the comments the link to the actual die cutting machine as well as the YouTube video that shows you how to do, like how to use the pressure, the dial, just basically the whole unboxing, because if you've never used this one before, your handle is removable. It does come inside of the little flaps right there. So if you do buy this, just know your handle is inside the little compartment. So this is a really great
I just
machine.
said all that, but you're just repeating it. So
Just repeating.
I'm like, I'm not sure she heard
Just
me.
how to use, no, I did, but just like the video shows you how to use
It shows
all the
you
dials
whole
and everything.
shebang.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Remember we had a big pile of cut pieces that we're going to be doing some of our die cutting. So let's go ahead and grab some of those. And where you can double up to do a multi-cut, basically. You wouldn't go more than 2 pieces because you don't want your paper moving and jiggling. And so I've got 2 of the same size white daisy cardstock, and I'm going to do the, let's see, we're going to do, it's your birthday die cut. So that's what it's going to fit. Okay. So we're going to take this out of the plastic sheet, the plastic package that it comes in. And then we're going to use this one. So it's the only one that has like a square shape around it. And you can see that this is the one that it fits. Okay. So that's how I know which one I need. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to put I've got 2 pieces of white daisy cardstock cut in the same size. And I'm putting that on the wrong one. So let's put it on this one. And we're going to put it down here on my cutting mat. Okay, and then I'm going to use a little more washi. Let me get some fresh washi. I'm going to use a little more washi. And I'm going to put that on my cardstock so that my cardstock doesn't move. Okay. Now we're going to put our platform on top of it. So we've got that little sandwich. And we're going to run that through our die cut machine. And it's just a crank, basically. Crank that through. I felt it release, and so now I know it's gone all the way through. Now you could go back so that you don't have to go all the way through it, but just know it's going to press it down twice and maybe give you a deeper impression than you want. But I just wanted to show you that I could do that. And look, see, it's perfect. Then I know where my washi is whenever I need it, because I only use washi for this purpose, really.
So nice.
Yep. And look, you can see if the washi's fresh like that one was, it tore my cardstock. But I don't need that piece of cardstock. So sometimes it's good to like maybe put your brand new washi on a piece of clothing or I don't know, your hand, just to make it not as sticky. But I got 2 of those. Okay, so that's what I wanted. I got 2 out of that piece. So let me go ahead and put these 2, it's your birthday card, which is card, hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, it's card 1. Pretty sure that's card 1 because it has that. Yeah. Okay, so those are going to go to card 1. And then we're going to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're going to do it again. So you need 4. Go ahead and do that. In fact, I'm going to do it this way so I can be more at the top. I've noticed that whenever I do cut down here, sometimes it picks up that printed ink there. So I don't want to do that. And here's my washi when I need it. And look what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of get like some of the oils off my skin to make it not as sticky. Put that on there. And kind of like what we do with our stamps when we season those. go ahead and put it through the platform or through the machine. Put the platform on top. Run that through. Felt it release, so now I know I'm good to go back. Move it. And there is 2 of these. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, got those sentiments there. We're gonna remove the washi tape. Here, that's why you saw that washi tape up there. We save it. So you get multi-use out of it. But sometimes when it really sticks to the white daisy, even more than the printed cardstock. So that's why I'm peeling it carefully, because I want to save that. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we got those two more. So now you've got 4 total for card 1. Our next cut that we're going to be doing is the circles. And I can see I cut some of these different measurements. So that's fun. Let's see what I can do. Here, okay. I found 2 that match. So we're gonna do this one, and we're gonna do the circle. Let's do the circle. Do the circle as close to the edge as possible because I want to make sure I have enough room to do the circle again. So we're gonna do all the way over to the right. It doesn't matter, whichever side you want, but just I'm trying to maximize my space. If you have extra white daisy, then you don't need to worry about it. But I'm trying to keep it to exactly what we've got. And so let's go ahead and put that one through. Whoop. Die cut. I love the handle that you can hold on to it, you know. Okay, let's put it back through this way. And the circle is for the sentiment, it's your day, make a wish. We've got 2 perfect, beautiful circles there. Go ahead and stick that there. Okay. This goes to card 2. Okay, now we're going to be doing that again down here. Let me move that up a little bit. But I'm also going to try to fit in, we'll see if I can do it. It's time to celebrate. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be a close one. Oh, I think I can. But we really do need to take that down. Again, if you've got extra white daisy, then don't stress because just use that, you know. But I'm trying to maximize because, you know, we're paper hoarders and we want to use every available piece and space possible. I'm going to make sure that one sticks there. Okay. That one, I think we're good. I think we've got it. Just put one more piece for security of my paper. Okay. Let's run that through. Go. Oh. See if that worked. Woof. You guys, we did it. Oh, look at us go. We did it. And we utilized every little scrap of that white daisy. Which was the goal, right? Okay. Got 2 more circles and we have one of the it's time to celebrate. Oh, 2. Haha, not 1, 2. I got 2 of those. Tearing the paper. Sorry. We didn't need that piece anyway. Be very gentle with that white daisy, guys. Oh, good. Okay. Came off just fine. Okay, we've got 2 of It's Time to Celebrate. So let's put our circles where they need to go. These ones go to card 2. So now you've got 4 of those circles for card 2. And we happen to have 2 It's Time to Celebrate. And these are for card 1. So we've got those over there. Let's go ahead and remove this. Okay, I told you it's die cut a go-go. We're going. Okay, we're doing happy birthday twice. And, well, 4 times actually. So I've got 2 of the squares here. Let's go ahead and get this die cut, or this metal, then cut. This is the happy birthday sentiment, sorry. I could see it. Why couldn't you? Okay, so we've got that one there. And I've, again, doubled my cardstock. So I'm doing 2 at a time. Okay. Let's get that going. We're running that through. Back out. Okay, happy birthday. Okay. So you should have 2 of those. And they have these little centers. You just pop those out. Okay, these 2 go to card 3. Goes next in the card 3 pile. And now we have the other half, and we've got to do 2 more. So let's do 2 more of those. There we go. Our washi down. Ta-da! Those in. Okay, ready? Here we go. Okay. Those 2. That in pile 3, card 3. Those out. You've got 4 of those happy birthday. Putting all those back on my carrier sheet. There. And we did 2 of the Time to Celebrate. So if you're following along the instructions, let me just show you like I am. We've done 4 of these. We haven't stamped them yet. We've done 4 of these and 2 of these because we did this one and 4 of these. So we've got check all those off. So now we're moving on to this piece over here. So let's go ahead and bring in 2 pieces of the square white daisy cardstock. We're doing It's Time to Celebrate. Okay. Let me make sure, because I have room to do it twice, but that one's telling me to only do it once, so. But I think we're going to need it in another spot. Oh, I don't think I can fit 2 anyway. Well, we'll see. Okay. I mean, we should have plenty of cardstock, so we're good, guys. Okay, let's do It's Time to Celebrate outline. We're doing 2. We just need 2. Those go to card 1. That completes the set for card 1. Gently remove that off the white daisy. There we go. Okay. These 2 go to card 1. And that's 4 for card 1. Okay. Then it tells us that we're going to do some stamping on that one, not thin cutting, but we're going to move on and we're going to go to do the stamping after we're done with thin cutting. So we're moving on to the next set of die cuts. Let's see what we got. Well, I've got some not matched up. All good. Okay. Let's figure this one out together. So I've got two pieces that don't match up, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. I'm doubling it up. What I need is this square. Let's put that one down. We need that square. And then we need the poofy cupcake. Poofy cupcake. And it does fit. Perfect. Okay. We are good, good, good. Let me make sure it goes all the way up. Okay. We got it. We got it, you guys. Like a little puzzle happening here. Okay. Let's go ahead and run that through one time. Hold the handle. Run it through. It released tension, so I know it went through. Now back all the way out.
While you're cutting, Cassie and I were just sitting here. I'm actually getting all of our things edited for our next album retreat. And it just reminded us we should tell these guys about album retreat.
do it.
So tell me if you want us to start now or if you want to run another cut through.
Let me show them what I'm doing for the next one, and then we can do
Okay,
it.
awesome.
Okay, so you should have 2 squares and 2 poopy cupcakes. And then on the same pieces of cardstock, we're going to line up the next square and next poopy cupcake. And then Karen's going to tell us all about album retreat. Gently, 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 because we need that cardstock. Okay, go ahead, Karen.
Okay, we just wanted to tell you a little bit about our album retreat because registration closes on October 10th. Album retreat's a fun thing we do here at Close to My Heart a few times a year, and you make one whole album.
An entire album.
Yes, Cassie's chiming in because it is that exciting. And all the things we're doing right now, cutting all this paper, nope, that's all done for you. It's all packed by layout. You make 11 2-page layouts and an entire amazing album. So if you want to check it out, see all the pictures of the album, it's an outdoorsy kind of theme this time. You can go to your maker's website or closetomyheart.com. Then at the top of the page, click on the promotions tab. Then you'll see an album retreat little click place in that tab. And you can see the pictures and all of the things you need to know about album retreat.
And that's 2 straight days of layout creating.
3 straight days.
3 straight days. Sorry.
And not only that, we do it on a special page here on Facebook that once you've bought your bundle, you're
Private
automatically invited. Yes, it's a private group. And if you can't join us live, our dates I think are November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, but you can also go back and watch it later.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us jump in.
It's so fun. It's such a, and I mean, the album is just stunning. Like, seriously, my favorite albums are album retreat albums. They are amazingly beautiful and pieces of art.
We've just had a bunch of people in the comments. We were talking about telling them about that because we've had a few people in the comments already today say, and just throughout the week, say that as they've been watching, they've ordered the kits to do this. And I'm like, they should know that album retreat is coming because you get to create, I mean, we've done cards all week, but that one you get to create an entire album. So exciting, and we want you to join us.
That I forgot to add my second layer of cardstock. But I didn't run it through yet. Karen, I am stumped, and I need you to help me.
Okay.
The squares say they're for card 3, but I don't see where it goes on card
Let me
3.
look. Okay, let me look in my
Yeah.
guide and see if I can help.
So I was putting the squares at card 3, but I'm like, but where? Where do you use it?
Oh, you use it on the inside of the card. It goes. There's a sentiment you stamp on it that goes on the inside of the card.
But that's happy birthday.
But it's a square, right?
No.
Okay, wait a minute. I see a picture of it for card 3. It's a slimline.
Yeah.
It's the one that has the circles on the front and the cupcakes.
Check
on
it
the
out,
circles.
sister. Check it.
Well, I don't know what to say because the picture and the guy.
I'm holding the card.
That's crazy.
Look into the close-up. Look, everybody. I'm
Okay.
not crazy.
That is crazy. Let me come up there for a second.
I mean, did I bring in the wrong card?
Maybe
Because I'm like putting the square down.
We're gonna
I'm like,
figure
it's
it out.
So cute. But where
Let
does
me see the front of the card. Yeah, maybe she just did some different ones in different cards.
Weird.
See?
Yeah. Look. Oh,
Party foul?
And
here, look in that thing. Maybe
Weird.
there's two sets.
okay, I'll look.
Because you're going to be stenciling it differently.
Oh, wait a minute. You're doing the bonus card.
Oh,
This
You're
is what
looking
was a
about.
bonus card. Okay, let's give you the right card.
man.
She made a bonus card with the leftovers from this
okay.
card.
I was just using the cards that were out on the table. That's why
Well,
it didn't make sense to
Ashley
me.
just wanted to test our knowledge.
Man, Ash, that was a good little teaser stumper. Okay. I'm like, and the square
better.
goes to card 3. But then I looked at card 3 and I'm like, no, but it does. Okay.
We got it. We figured it out.
Phew. I'm like, why am I making these squares if we're not even using them? That's exactly what I was thinking. So there we go. Okay, everybody, we're back on track. I'm like, I'm looking at the card.
Karen, on her way back, just threw milk duds at me. So I guess we're starting on candy already.
Yes, we are.
Hey, it's day 4. Candy is
A must.
recommended.
What are you guys snacking on right now? I need to know.
Hey, this is our second set of square and poofy cupcake for card 3. The bonus card is really beautiful too. Okay, phew. Makes so much sense now. Alrighty, we've got 2 squares. So now we have 4 squares for card 3. And we did it out of that piece, 2 pieces of white daisy cardstock, which was awesome. And we have 4 poopy cupcakes.
Every time you've said it, we've been like, sounds like she's saying poopy.
It's not, but the looks like poop emoji looks like a
Uh-huh.
poopy, whatever.
Oh, we have M&M cookie, pretzels and soda. Oh, no snacks here. Getting ready to cook dinner. Where are you at? 2,
Let's
3,
see,
4.
probably on the East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast. It's almost.
Okay, we have one of these pieces
5
left,
o'clock over
and
there.
we need one more square and cupcake. Because there's 2 cupcakes. How do you want me to say? So what would you call this cupcake versus this cupcake?
How about Puffy?
Puffy. Poofy and puffy. Extra frosting
That's
cupcake.
right. The really good cupcake and the okay cupcake.
Fluffy.
Man, we should have cupcakes. We have this cupcake shop that's just down the street that has the most amazing cupcakes. The Better Than What is my favorite. That's what it's called. Better Than What. Okay, we just need 1 set of that. So that's what we're doing. Oh, actually, we needed 2. Oh well, it's okay. You know, I just want to keep my arm strong. So let's just keep going. It just wasn't on the other sheet. That's fine. No biggie. We could have folded this in half and done both, but it's fine. See how fast and easy it is anyway. Okay, so this goes to card 3 as well. There we go. And then we're going to start in on, remember I made you cut those other strips to 2 inches? Remember that? Remember when I said I'm going rogue? But this is why, because we're going to do some doubling up. Nope, that's not the right size. Okay. One of them must be not from a different cut, but it's all good. We'll make it work. Okay, I've doubled up my paper. We're going to do lots and lots of cupcakes. We're doing still the extra frosting cupcake. Is that better? There's 3 cupcakes on here, you guys, so make sure you get the right one. It's this one versus one that has star candles and one that has a single candle. So
We could call it the muffin top.
the muffin top. So we need this one, the muffin top. Okay, we're gonna do this many times over. So remember, I've doubled up on this cardstock. So I'm getting 2 at a time. Because at the end, we're gonna need, oh gosh, I didn't even count them, but I can tell you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We need 9 more cupcakes of this style of cupcake. There we go. That guy in. Get that guy out. So there. Got your cupcake. You should have 2. Gently pull it off so it doesn't rip our paper. Okay. Got 2 cupcakes. And these all go to card 3. So card 3 should have 12 cupcakes. Wow. Somebody's really getting a lot of cupcakes. So we've already cut a bunch.
While we're here, happy birthday to anyone with a birthday. We have a few people in the comments
Oh,
saying
nice.
it's their birthday
Happy
month.
Birthday month. I love that about us and our culture. I love the birthday month. It started off as a birthday day, then a birthday week, and now we're birthday month.
Birthday month.
Okay, we're doing another set of that. Okay. This is 4 of 9. Keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, this is 5 and 6. Oh, let's do that. Don't forget, we still have stamping to do, so we are still going. Let me just trim those off really quick. And find my scissors for a minute. Okay. This is going to be 7 and 8, and then we'll have one more to do. One to grow on. We'll just double it up anyway because we're already doing it, so. Okay. Okay, that was 7 and 8. Just do one more set. And we are good to go. Well, we're good to go on this design, on this one. Okay. Okay, then we're moving on to the sparkle cupcake with the little star candles on it. And again, all these cupcakes we just finished cutting go to card 3. Card 3. are done with that paper. So let's go ahead and do the one with the little star shapes on top. That's the one we need. And we need 4 of those. So we're going to run it twice through. 4 of those. And you know what else we need? 1 square, but it's doubled up. It doesn't matter. We'll have an extra square. So let's go ahead and put a square on. We'll just go all the way through. I didn't feel that quite tension release there on that one, so now. Okay. Gently. That goes to card 3. And then these sparkle cupcakes go to card 4. I put it right to the edge of that one. There we go. Okay, perfect. So we've got 2 of those. We need 1 more set of those, and those go to card 4. Let's just go ahead and flip it this way. Put that on. It's probably good. And we're going to do 1 pass through. Those 2, and that goes to card 4. Okay, we're done with this paper. Now remember we had that other 6-inch white daisy piece. What we're gonna do on this one, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 of, I'm gonna fold it in half. Get this out of the way. And we're gonna do this shape here. And this is for, it's your, what does it say, the sentiment? Time to celebrate your special day. That's it. Let's put that one on. Make sure it doesn't move. And this fits exactly, I mean, pretty tightly, the 6-inch white daisy across. Okay, let's put that through. So we needed 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 of those. So. Die cut. Okay, these ones go to inside of card 1, but these are for, what does it say? No stamping. Okay, I'm not going to stamp those then. Let me make sure. I'll see why. Huh. Oh, I know why, because we're doubling them up to like make it stand up basically. So there we go. Okay. Let's go. Okay, we're gonna do another one of these up here. Go ahead and run that through. 2 more. So that's 4. We need 2 more sets. And now we're going to do one more. Man, we really did get use of that white daisy, didn't we, guys? Maximizing. Okay. Four more die cuts to do after this, and then we start stamping. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. Okay. Those ones all went to card 1. So now we're done with this. Should have, oh, that's so silly. The journey cardstock. We needed the journey cardstock. Let me find it. Hold on a second. The leftover journey. You had a leftover journey piece. Oh, okay. I found it. I've got it. These here. They were in my thin cut pile, but I didn't see it with the white daisy. You should have 2 of these because we're going to be doing the happy birthday sentiment on this. Okay. We cut it when we cut the journey paper. So this is the one, this one that fits the it's your birthday sentiment, okay? We're going to do it 2 times, so because we need 4. Ashley jumped right up when I said, I can't find it. Thank you, Ashley. And it was right there in front of me. The way it goes. Oh, the other thing you want to make sure is that your cardstock is in the direction you want it to be when you're putting this down, the blade down. So this is the right, I want the dark side up. So make sure both pieces are the dark side, okay? Because that's what we're looking for is the dark, it's your birthday shape. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Okay, these go for card 1 as well. And it's really cool how they use it. Karen will show you, but it looks almost like a shadow because we're not going to actually stamp on this one. It just layers underneath the stamped one. And it just is a fun little shadow effect. So these go to card 1. Card 1 has a lot of layers. Okay, let's do this one. And that is the last. Well, actually, it's not the last. Let me tell you why. It's the last of the loose pieces we're going to thin cut. One of the cards has a thin cut circle. So we should probably do that too. Okay.
Hey, Monica, the one that you're talking about that has the thin cut circle, are you talking about the one that has the front cut out of it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do it because we stencil it first and the circle we
Oh,
cut out of
yeah,
it
you're right. Okay.
goes on the back of the envelope. So
Well,
I'll
there
do
you
that.
go. So Karen will bring back the die cutting machine after it's been stenciled. That makes perfect sense. I just saw as I was getting up here going, oh, I didn't practice that, but I guess I need to do that.
That was really nice of you.
I was going to
Really
do it because you did so much extra work for me yesterday. So All right, here's the last two pieces. Then I am done with the die cutting machine, and it'll come back out for these projects, but just for that card. Go ahead and clean up a little bit and put all this stuff away. Here, I'll let you look at the cards while I clean up. I'll put those out, those two, because they were close. Here, I'll let you look at the other card that was supposed to be shown, not the bonus one. Okay. All my little die cut leftovers away. Make sure I've got everything in an orderly fashion for Karen. Once we do all the stamping. You needed a little cleanup break too, right? Tell me you did. Just putting my thin cuts back on my old magnet sheet because I don't want to lose those. Okay. Okay, those are all done. I'm going to put those on the envelope so that when Karen needs it, she can find it easily. Now I'm going to bring in station here. Hold on. The stencils out of the way. Okie dokie. We're going to stamp under the close-up camera. I don't need the lagoon piece. It was there for the stencils. Just put it in. We're going to use that stamp set. Remember these pieces? They were for card 4. We're going to need that to stamp. Let me tell you all, we're going to do one by one. I've got quite a bit of stamping to do. So let me get my instruction sheet. Make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. We're going to start actually with card 1. And what we need is, you're going to need the It's Your Birthday die cut, this piece here. Now, some of our makers, they're awesome, and they're all awesome, not some, but all of them are awesome, but some of them like to stamp then die cut. I have never been a stamp and die cut kind of girl. I like to die cut and then stamp. So it is your preference, but the way we teach is the way we do it, and that is to die cut and stamp. So just so you know. Here's card 1, so you can see it as a reference. And so I'm stamping the sentiment, it's your birthday. And we're doing it in intense black ink. Pretty sure, want to make sure. Yep. Intense black ink. Let's grab our ink and let's grab a block. Okay, I flipped my Versamat because it's got like a foamy kind of backing. And then I've got the foam insert that comes in my stamp set to help give it cushion when I'm stamping and to help give it a clear, good impression. So I've got intense black ink right here off to the side. I've also got this block here, and I'm going to put my stamp on the block. It's a pretty good sentiment, big sentiment. And now with just the oils of my skin, I'm going to season the stamp. It's brand new. We haven't used it before. And that just helps to get some of that production stickiness off. So we get a better clean impression. Okay. And intense black ink. I have a chamois over here that I'm going to grab to clean my stamp. It's a nice outline stamp, isn't it? Okay, let's do It's Your Day, birthday. Sorry for the top of my head, but there you go. You can see that, looks so good. Kind of rubbing it in and just holding it there for a second, and there we go. It's your birthday. So you can do that 4 times. Maybe for me, to save time. Should I only stamp 1, Karen? Well, all right, we'll do it one more time for funsies. If you were making all 4 cards, then yeah, you would want to stamp them all. Okay. There we go. It's your birthday. Oh, I'm on a roll. Let's just do it. Okay. Kind of marching it across this ink pad. Okay. That's so good. Last one. Okay. That one felt a little more centered to me, so 4 times a charm. There you go. Okay, so we're going to clean our stamp. And like I said, I have a chamois here. You can see we've used this one quite a bit, and it's totally functional. The more used, the better. Not really, but it doesn't bother it. Tools, not jewels. This doesn't need to be clean. I learned that on the first day, Tuesday. Tools, not jewels. It's a tool, so it doesn't need to be pristine, you know, clean. I might bring this over. We also have this little holder for it, and it's nice to keep it on there too, so it doesn't get on your surface. All right, so let's go ahead and peel that off, put it back on our carrier sheet. So we've done It's Your Birthday. Okay, let's see what's next. We've got, so we did that stamping, and then we need to do the inside stamping, the Time to Celebrate. Karen, do you want me to stamp this little candle inside, or you got that?
Up to you.
Okay.
I'll do whatever.
Man, look at her. She's just Miss Flexibility today.
Yep. I'm in a good mood. I finished something big.
Ooh, nice. All right. Okay, let's do this one. And that sentiment is right here on your stamp set next to the single candle. Time to Celebrate. It's your special day. Go ahead and take that off the carrier sheet on our stamp, our block. Okay, seasoning that up. And again, we're doing it with intense black ink. Let me just open that up for you to see what we're doing. Oh well, it won't stay. All good. Okay, it's time to celebrate. It's your day. Oh, I picked up ink all around the edges, so let me just clean that up. I guess it's not going to transfer onto anything but my phone because it's a die cut. Just lining it up with the little curly Q's and the T, that E. Okay. Look at that, so good. Okay, we've got one down. Top of my head. Okay, today was hair washing day and I didn't fix it, so I'm in slick back bun mode.
I was just thinking how full and luscious it looked even
Oh,
from
gosh.
behind.
This is my wet bun hair.
Great.
And because my hair is so thick, if I leave it like this, even if I sleep with it like this, it will still be wet in the morning. It's so weird.
What a life.
What a lie.
For you.
Oh.
The rest of us don't have that hair problem.
Listen.
I get one gust of wind and my whole head is dry.
It's quite the feat to dry it. It's quite the feat to dry it. I just literally didn't have 2 hours to do drying and
I'll bet you
styling.
anything if you pulled out your bun right now and we went forward facing, you'd look like Miss America.
Yeah,
So,
not.
Monica has the best hair on the planet.
Not true. That's why it's extra shiny. It's actually wet. Okay.
And when mine's shiny, it's because I pasted it down with wax.
I don't even know what kind of wax to use in here. All right, so there you go. That's our fourth one. Okay, let's clean our sentiment.
I love asking this question, and we haven't asked it this week. If you were on a deserted island covered in paper, all cardstock papers, what's one tool you couldn't live without?
Close to my heart tool.
Yeah. What's one close to my heart tool you couldn't live without?
Me?
Anybody. The
You
people
can
in the
answer
chat.
though,
I
Mom.
want you to
Micro
answer.
tip scissors.
100%.
Me too.
If I was on a deserted island, it could be so useful.
If
Second,
it's covered in cardstock, the island, you could use the edge of the cardstock to mark where you were going to cut with your scissors.
Karen.
So you wouldn't need your trimmer.
I could see, and I'm thinking I could cut down coconuts with those things. So
Yeah, you could.
Those things are crazy.
You could
And defend
defend.
yourself.
I was just
Defend yourself.
Okay, we're gonna stamp one of the inside of the card so you can see, because she's gonna do one card only, and we're doing a single candle, and it's right here next to that solid present. And it's fun because we're doing first and second generation on this one, stamping, which is National Stamping Month project, so that is awesome. We have the Journey Ink, our brand new color of the year. And I've got my single stamp, my little candle. And we're going to start with the outside edge on the bottom right hand of our inside of our card. So let's go ahead and stamp the candle. We've got one candle. And then second generation means you lift it and you don't ink it and you stamp it again. And then we're going to do third generation and stamp it one more time so you get a gradient candle. Look at that. Isn't that so cute?
Oh, that's so cute.
And then we do it again. It's direct on. So this is just straight stamping. And then lift, don't re-ink, second generation, lift, don't re-ink, third generation. And there's your candle. So darling. Okay, that one's done. This goes to card one. Now here you can see there's a ridge on my card, and it like a little outie belly button. I don't know. It's a ridge. We call them mountains. Makers have taught us all this. A mountain, a belly button out, and that goes on the inside of your card so that your card folds nicely every time. So valley out, mountain in, belly button in, belly button out. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Crazy things. Okay, so there you go. That's for card one. Now we're going to put that away. Let me clean off my candle, and let's move on to the next part of stamping.
We have paper trimmers, adhesive to build your paper tent. That's a good one. Clear blocks, scissors, my Versamat.
We are stamping now the circle, it's your day, make a wish sentiment. Some good little things there. Okay, liquid glass to me would be second. It's your day, make a wish. This is what we're stamping. Look at that fun stenciling, and that's the inside sentiment too. Oh, so good. Okay. This fits perfectly. And we're doing it in intense black ink again. You guys holding on, keeping on? Okay. Trying to pick up ink all over this little pad. Marching that guy. Okay, here we go. Right in the center. Line that up. And you've got those solid words. I'm just kind of pushing down in the center of that. Make sure it goes all the way through. And almost. I don't dare do it again. I mean, you could try to stamp that again just to give it a more vibrant, but it's okay. It looks great. Oh, or you could even fill it in with the little black pen, journaling pen too. It was teeny. Okay. Let's do this next one. Sorry, top of my head. Of my shiny wet hair. Let me make sure I got that D this time. Okay. I did. Perfect. So good. Ooh, I'm getting a Charlie horse in my toes. It does. It is.
Have you ever had that happen like at night when you're in bed and you just get woken up by these awful Charlie horses in your legs or feet? It's the worst.
Okay, I have the story. I was having a sleepover with one of my cousins one time. We were like 17. She was actually living with us. It wasn't a sleepover, but we shared a bed, and she was 17, I was 16. And I got a Charlie horse in my calf in the middle of the night. And I woke up in so much discomfort and pain. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she's like, what's wrong? And I said, it's a Charlie horse, Charlie. She's like, Charlie's horse is going to be okay. She thought it was having a nightmare. She'd never heard it because she spoke Spanish. Yeah.
Charlie's horse. She's thinking you're having like a nightmare.
Okay. I'm like, no, it's my leg.
That is so
It was so sweet though. She was so worried about Charlie's horse.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I love my cousin. She's awesome. Shout out to Yadi. Okay. Okay, we got those all done. Oh, they look so good, you guys. I'm really proud of them. Look at that. So good. Okay. Cleaning that off. We're going to put that away. And that is all that we needed to do for card 2. Let's put those over in the pile by 2. Oh, no, is that all? Yes. Oh, I was putting in the wrong pile. Pile 2. Okay. Now let me close that up. Now we're going to be stamping for card 3. And we're going to stamp happy birthday. And the puffy, extra frosting, poofy, all the things cupcake.
Muffin tops.
Muffin top. How can I forget muffin top? So we've got all those. Let's see, how many do we actually need for the card? 1, 2, 3. 3. Oh, okay. Yeah, because there was 12 cupcakes. Maths. Okay. I think for this one, I'm only gonna, to save time, cooking show, right? We're only gonna do one of each. Because she's only making one of each. Although I do want these cards afterwards because it's so dang cute. Okay. Let's do, it's the one with the hearts. Look how cute that is. Oh, we're doing happy birthday. I got distracted by the muffin top cupcake. Okay, we've got the happy birthday sentiment. Let's go ahead and get that onto a block. And we're doing it in intense black ink. And then it's going to dry. And Karen, are you going to, yes, you're going to add the little extra coloring, or do you want me to? The water brush.
I'll do it, and then that way it'll have plenty of time
Okay,
to dry.
perfect. That was the
Same
answer.
on the cupcakes, Monica, when on those. I'll
Okay.
do that, and in the other big happy birthday, I'll do that.
Perfect. She will teach you how to do that, and that gives everything plenty of drying time, which is great, so that you don't have any smearing with your ink. Okay, let's get our happy birthday sentiment going. And away we go. Okay. Look at that. Nice. I feel like I've got it here, so I just gotta go. Go, go, go. How are we doing on time, ladies? Am I done? Did the buzzer go off?
Nope.
Okay.
It is, you've been going for what, an hour and almost 40 minutes?
Yeah.
I think yesterday cutting and everything that I did took about 2 hours. So
Yeah. Okay.
you're going.
Well, and we're on card 3, so we're good. Okay. One more. That one done. Okay. Oh, so good. All right. I love the script on that. I love that the 2 different fonts on that birthday sentiment. It looks so pretty. And then when you can color in the way that Karen's going to teach you with the water brush and the pad, you're going to love it. All right. Now we're going to do the heart cupcake. Muffin top, poofy, puffy, all the cupcake, whatever you call those. Let me find a, oh, it's right here. I'm like, let me find a spot block. Okay. Each card needs 3. Okay. And here we go. Make sure your white daisy's facing the right direction. And the way you're going to know is that there's a little heart at the top of that cupcake icing. And that's how you know you're doing it in the right direction. Okay. So we're doing 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So cute. That one looks great. Look at that. Okay. Okay. Anybody crafting along? Are you just watching?
Oh, there's plenty of people crafting along with you.
Oh, good. Hopefully I'm not usually known for speediness, so.
Those are so cute.
They are.
I love them.
They were worth it. Worth all that arm twisting, die cutting. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So good. All right, let's see, how many have I done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me just do one more, and that gives me enough for 3 cards. I have so many cupcakes. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. It says all says card 3, card 3, card 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, huh. I think I overcut cupcakes. Oh, maybe they're for the bonus card. I don't know. But I definitely have more than needed. I bet they're for the bonus card, maybe. Okay. Man, they're getting better with each pass. Okay. I mean, I literally need, I feel like I need 2 or 3 birthday cards a week. Like, I cannot get enough of birthday cards. And I never feel like I have enough because I go through so many. So I love that this is all just fun birthday card sentiments and it's awesome. All right, I think we're going to be done there.
You know, with all these birthday cards, you think they'd last a long time, right? But
They just
I made
don't.
these, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago to test them. And I've already used almost every single one of these birthday cards. And all of them that I've given to people, they have been like, oh my gosh, did you make this card? So people think these are amazing to receive too.
Well, there you go. All right, I found 3 more cupcakes, you guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and do those.
I never find cupcakes.
I know, right? Okay. Go. Okay. So beautiful. Okay, we got those cupcakes all done. Now they're go to pile 3. Let's clean our stamp and move on to the next part of stamping. Okay. Alrighty. We are now moving on to, oh, what? I think no, we're not done. We're not done. There's no way. Let me, before I start the happy dancing. Huh, interesting. No, no, no. Oh, okay. I see where we're doing the star cupcake now. This guy. We're done with part 3 though. Make sure. Oh, you know what we didn't do? Just kidding. It felt too good to be true. So let's bring in those little squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I have extras. Don't know what I did. Okay, we're doing sending birthday hugs, 4 of them. So it's the square. Sending birthday hugs. This one right here. Getting that nice and seasoned. Sending birthday hugs. Our sentiment. Right in the center of that square. One. Two. Three. Okay. One more. Okay. Now we are done with card 3. Those are awesome. I do say so myself. And okay. I'm going to clean my hands because they are inky. Okay. Put those with card 3. And now we have the star cupcake. Let's do our star cupcake. And we're going to stamp this happy birthday sentiment and time to celebrate inside of that square. is that square? Where's that one? Oh, haha, it's right here. Okay, so we've got, remember I said let's have these squares over on the stamping section. So this is for card 4. We've got the star cupcakes for card 4, and then we've got this white little piece of white daisy cardstock for the happy birthday sentiment. Okay, we are almost there, my friends. All these prep pieces will pay off, and then you're going to learn from Karen how to do gorgeous stenciling and assemble the cards. Okay, so let's go ahead and do these pieces first. This is going to be trimmed. You can see once we've stamped it, we'll trim it. Okay, so let's do It's Time to Celebrate, or Time to Celebrate Your Special Day. This one right here, we've already used it once. And we're stamping with intense black ink again. I do it in the center. There's a little goober. Oh, there we go. We're going to trim around it, but so to make it even. Let's do it right in the center. Okay. There's one. There's 2. And 3. Okay. I only have 3 for some reason. I don't know what happened to the 4th one. Maybe I accidentally used it as a die cut. Here, let's see. Hey, Ash, will you measure that and cut me that? Okay, we're gonna clean that off. Do that last one in a minute. Okay. Let's do our star cupcake. Yay. We're gonna pick that up. It's the first time we're using it, so really get that seasoning down on that one. Okay. Bring in our star cupcake, then cut piece. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And right here. There it is. Okay. Thank you. And 2. Three. And 4. Beautiful. Okay. Those, oh, I don't know why I keep closing that. So I don't want to get ink on me. That's probably why. Clean off the star cupcake. Now we're going to do the sentiment, happy birthday. And it's just a simple sentiment off to the side of the balloon. See that on your carrier sheet? This one right here. Let me grab a block over here. I have a long skinny block. Now for these skinnier sentiments, it's always good to put it down on your work surface and then pick it up with your block, and then that way it doesn't wiggle, it doesn't move around, anything like that. It just makes it so much easier. Okay, let's bring in our white daisy cardstock piece. Remember, this is piece for card 4. And let me just walk that sentiment. Don't smush it too hard because it is a little more delicate of a stamp and it's got thinner lines. There's 1. And we're just going to go straight down. Hold that down. There we go. Don't smush it too hard or it'll blur. I'm not putting a lot of pressure at all on it when I stamp it down. I'm just kind of gently rubbing off the top. There we go. Those are good. Okay. And now this one. Okay, we got those 4 done. And that off. Pull that off. We've got one more of time to celebrate your special day. Just one more of that one. Remember, we're stamping right in the center. It's good to me. Okay. Now we are going to do some trimming of time to celebrate because it's your inside sentiment. I don't know why we didn't get the measurement of that one in the instruction, but let me try to measure it. 2 3/4. 2 1/4. Okay. Got those. Let's go put these back over to card 4. I'll move these out of the way because I'm going to bring the paper trimmer in. We are so close to being done. Well, my part. My part. Stuff out of the way. Okay. I almost started cutting like Karen cuts.
That would have been cool.
Would have been cool. Okay, our first cut's gonna be here. Let's see. We're just gonna try to. Oh, sorry. We're gonna leave a little bit of the edge there, so that's why we didn't get an exact measurement on this one. You see, you're just cutting a square based on where you stamped. See how I left a little bit of that, just a tiny 1/16 of an inch there. And we're going to do this at the top. Make sure you don't cut off any of your letters. So it's a pretty tight bit, okay? So that's why there's not an exact measurement. It just depends on where you cut it and how you cut it. Or stamped it, sorry. Okay. I'm just going to do one. I'm not going to do all 4 because of time. But there. So there's what we're looking for. We're looking for a tight cut piece that's square-ish. And then we're going to stamp the stars in Journey. It's the open star design off of our stamp set. So let me bring back my little workstation. Okay, so we're going to bring Journey ink in again. And we're going to stamp the open star. Okay, there's one open star next to time to celebrate your special day and by the one candle. Okay, it's teeny, 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 tiny. So don't lose it. Get my small block. There we go. Okay, we're going to ink it up. I should have. Okay. We're going to do one up here and then 2 down in the corner. 1, 2. That's how the sentiment should look. Then Karen will assemble it with the card backing. Okay, and you would do that for all 4 of those pieces. So you trim each one down, then stamp your star in Journey. And I believe that is it for me. Yay! All right, we did it, you guys. Thanks.
Hey, good job.
That was so fun. Okay, we do have a giveaway. Yahoo! We have this awesome giveaway here. It is the card front. So you're going to learn to stencil. It's the card front stencil. Wow, that is awesome. And it is a bundle. So you get all the ones you see on screen. Okay, if you are a customer, you email ctmhoffice@closetomyheart.com. Tell us you're a winner and what you won, and we will send it to you. And if you're a maker, this will just show up for you. It'll just show up for you on your next, well, you'll add it to your next order in order entry. And congratulations, friends. That is awesome. Well, that is the end for me. I'll still be in the room. I'll be over doing comments with Cassidy, and we are coming up next with Karen, who will help you assemble these gorgeous cards and teach you about stenciling with our exclusive stencils. Thank you so much for joining us for National Stamping Month celebration, which is in September, but we're having the event so that you could have had your bundles, but the bundles are still for sale. That's right, they're still for sale. So make sure to check under promotions and click on Say It With Style National Stamping Month, and you'll see all the workshops there. That's it for me, and coming up next is Karen. So don't go far away. She'll be right up.
Welcome back, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Karen, and I will be teaching all of the assembly and a little bit of the artistic technique that is on these cards. I hope you're enjoying yourselves. Monica and I were just saying, if you are new to stenciling and you don't know how to stencil after this week, we don't know what else to tell you. We feel like this has been a master 4-day class in stenciling, and I think you're going to learn a few new ways to use these stencils today, which is even more fun. Every single person who designed these workshops used them just slightly differently. So that'll be really great to have all the ideas. Let's take a look at what we need to do to get started on our next step. We are going to be doing some stenciling on card number 1. I'm thinking maybe it'd be just smart if I just came straight over to the close-up camera. And then you can see even better what we're doing. And there is a piece for card number 1 that is this piece right here, a white daisy piece, and we're going to be stenciling on this. I'm going to move my Versamat out of the way, and I'm actually just going to stencil right here on my all-purpose mat because it'll just wipe right off. And we need Journey ink, and we need our stripy stencil for the standard size card front. So I'm just trying to find that right here. Here we go. So you can see there's 2 of them. One has the skinny stripes and one has the thicker stripes. On this card, we're only using the skinny stripe one. And we are going to turn it so our stripes go up toward the right corner. And I am going to do a little bit of taping. You can use our masking tape, you can use washi tape, whatever works for you. I'm doing that to hold my paper in place. And then we aren't going to go all the way to the top on this. So actually I could have, maybe I'm going to, put a little bit of tape right here because we're going to stop before we get to the top on this stencil. Hope you guys are enjoying all of these fun cards that we've been making this week and all of these really great ways to use the stencils. I'm guessing we've shown you a way or 2 you hadn't thought of. I have to say that these designers thought of a couple of ways I hadn't thought of, and that makes me really happy. I love learning new things. And this is definitely a Learn New Things week. Okay, now before I start doing this, I don't know how many of you are only joining us today, like maybe this is the first day you've joined us. So there are a couple of things that might be helpful for me to share about the stenciling. And also a few tips and techniques. So on this card, I'm going to show you the card. Can you see how our plaid is just going to kind of sort of fade away as it gets closer to the top? And so what we want to do is start down here at the bottom and then push our way up. And then that way, the part that has the most ink will be near the bottom. And as we get closer up, it's going to be less and less. And then we'll stop at a certain point. We won't push all the way up that stripe. And so a couple of things to know. We're going to use Journey ink. I like to, when I am stenciling, have some scratch paper close by so that I can dab it off. Can you see how intense and vibrant that Journey ink is? If I had done this and then put it straight on my stencil, look what would have happened. I would have gotten that blob right there where I put it down. Another way to help avoid the blob, in addition to pouncing it off onto that scratch paper, is to make sure you're starting off of your stencil and pushing on, which is why this all-purpose mat is going to be really great to work on. Okay, so now I've done that and I kind of blotted it off a little bit. And when you're using a stencil like this that stripes and has a little piece like this little divider in the middle, you just want to go with the direction of the stripe. If I go like this, it's going to jiggle that stripe and it's going to make a very not crisp image. So you'll see what I mean if I go like this and just push my way up. Now this stripe that's right here, I do want to use that whole stripe. So I'm just going to, can you see where I'm just going with the direction of that stripe? Then we've got a little bit right down here in the corner to do. Now what I'm going to do is on this stripe, I'm going to stop right about here. I don't know, maybe 2 inches from the top.
And I'm not going to just stop abruptly. I'm just going to sort of get softer as I go up. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm trying to come down here at the bottom part and get most of my ink down there so that as I go up, I can just lessen my pressure and lessen the amount of ink that's going on there because I've used most of it. Can you see how that's happening? And that's all we need to do for this direction here. For now, we're going to now move it up slightly. I'm going to lift this without taking it away just so you can see something. I think you're going to be surprised how bright this is because it always looks a little less bright looking through the stencil. We're going to take this stencil now and just lift it up and move it so that our stripes are in between where they were. I'm moving mine down, and then we're also going to have to carefully add another one up there later. So here we go. We're going to do the same thing, and I've kind of set my standard about where I want my stripes to end, but I also don't want it to be a perfect line where they end. I want it to be just a soft little line, like so that it doesn't have that it just sort of fades away. So I'm going to do that whole technique that I did before where I'm putting most of my ink at the bottom and then lightly finishing that part up right there. Then we've got one right up here that we need to do, and it's going to need to end too before the stencil. So same thing, most of that ink near the edge.
They are appreciating the tips, Karen.
Oh, good. It's always nice when we can give you a tip that helps you like what you're making better. So you can see what's happening right here. Now I just need to move a stripe up here so I can get a little bit right here. I only need a tiny bit, just enough to so that that little corner's not bare. Okay, can you see what we've created? I'm going to clean my stencil. Even though we're going to stay in the same ink, I now have it all over my fingers and my stencil. So when I twist the stencil, I'm just going to probably make a big mess if I don't wipe it off. I don't need to move my paper though. It can stay right where it is. And I'm just using a baby wipe. You could use a wet rag. You could use your chamois. Whatever floats your boat. Okay. Now we want our stripes to go the opposite direction. So we need to turn our stencil over. And that's why we cleaned it so well. I'm just going to grab a paper towel and dry my stencil off so that I'm not putting wet on top of that. So you just flip your stencil over, and now we've got our stripes going the other direction. And I'm going to move mine down a little bit because that gives me a stripe right about here, which will be nice. And then I will only have to fill it in a little bit when we do the rest of the in-between ones. What did I do with my masking tape? I'm already losing things. That is a bad sign. We're on card 1. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're coming from the other direction on the card. Ooh, I need to move this over just a bit. There we go. Better. Isn't this fun? We didn't even use the wide stripe on this one. We just used this skinny stripe, and we're making a totally different plaid than we've made all week. Okay, now we're going to, I'm going to move it up so that I can get stripes in all the places I want them. Nope, I'm actually going to move it down because they're not going to fit otherwise. There we go. I already came with Journey ink on my fingers. I was prepared. I was working with Journey ink in the art studio today too.
Colorful hands.
That's right. Made sure I matched my sweater and my fingers already. I love how this, whoops, don't move, little guy. I love how this stencil creates such a pretty plaid, and I love how our designer Janice did this whole fadeaway thing going on up here. I think that's so gorgeous. Okay, we've got our plaid on our card. Are you guys so impressed with yourselves? Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to wipe this all off again. Maybe try and wipe my fingers a little. It might be a lost cause. And clean my stencil. You know, I was just thinking when I do stencils, I go through baby wipes like crazy. We could single-handedly keep the baby wipe industry in business. The more stencils we make. Okay, then let's dry this off because we got more stuff to do. Also, when you wipe it, that's something I should have said earlier. When you wipe your stencil, you want to also wipe with the direction of the pattern if it's a directional pattern like this. If I go like this when I'm cleaning it, all that's going to do is loosen those little delicate lines so they won't lay flat for me when I use it again. Okay, so we've got that all done. Now we're going to do some painting. Shall we paint? You're going to need a water brush. Yes, we do. Okay, or you could use a regular paintbrush with some water in a cup. But water brushes, once you have one, you're going to want one for the rest of your life. And we're going to take our Journey pad and just put a little bit of Journey ink right here on our mat. Now, if you don't have a water brush, let me just show you how they work so that you can decide if it might be something you want one day. This bottom part fills with water and you squeeze it and it adds a little water to the tip of the brush. Sometimes it adds a little too much and you can just dab it off. This part right here unscrews so that you can add your water to the well. Okay, I still want my scratch paper here because, let me show you why. Because I want to, once I pick up some of this water or this paint that we've now created, I also want to see how bright is that. Like I might want to dab a little bit off. And do I have enough water there? Okay, we're going to pick up a little bit. And we're going to start at the bottom of the bee. We're going to work down and so that we're not smudging anything. So I'm going to start at the bottom of the bee. You guys, my hands are a disaster already. We're going to start here and carefully paint. And without getting our brush wet again or get more paint on, we're going to work our way about halfway up that bee. And you can see how it's getting slightly lighter as I go up. If I want to make it a little more intense at the bottom, I can always go back and add just a little bit more color. Okay, so we've got the bee done. That's what we want. We want that pretty fade happening there. So let's get some for the eye. I've got a lot of water on my water brush. We'll start down there at the bottom of the eye. Put your brush down where you want it to be darkest first, which is right there at the bottom. Then pull that up. Then if we want a little more, we can always go back and add a tiny bit just down there at the bottom so that it's more of a, almost an ombre happening there. Have you ever done this before with your painting? I mean, I'm guessing most of you have probably shaded with watercolors before, which is really what this is. We're just shading, but it's kind of a fun new look halfway up on these letters. If you get a little too much water, you can always carefully dab it off with a paper towel. But if you don't move it around too much, it will soak into that paper. If you try and move it around too much, you're going to probably end up with paper that is a little too waterlogged and that starts to pill. which you don't want that, obviously. Okay, so we got the first part of this done. Now we've got that down. We can just start moving a little more quickly. Remember to start and go across the bottom of the letter. The R was a little different. I did one side of the R and then the second side of the R because it's split in the middle. And then you'll have used most of the ink on your brush, and so as you move up, it'll get lighter and lighter, like you can see happening here. And then I can always go back and get a little more color if I want a little more. We're going to have to do the H kind of separately too, because it's split down the middle. I love how the H goes into the Y and it looks like a little arrow at the bottom of the H. Such a fun detail. Our designers here at Close to My Heart think of all the fun little details. They are very good at what they do. Okay, now we're going to do this D. How's everyone doing with their painting? Are you having fun learning a new technique? I could do this all day. This is the most relaxing for me thing in the world, to just
I just
sit
had to
and
check
water.
my face, and I was staring at you doing it with like my mouth wide open. It's like it puts me in a trance.
It does me too. When you're doing it, it does.
I love it too. And I would say I'm not the most creative or artsy person, but this makes
Love
me
it.
feel so art. Like
Yes.
you can't really mess it up. And it's just beautiful. And I love it too.
Yeah.
And the ombre effect makes it look like you have like a super skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
serious,
agree.
yeah.
I think there's a few techniques that are like that. I think embossing's another one of those where when you emboss someone who's never done it before, they get your card and they're like, how did you do that magical raised metallic stuff? Then you just tell them, well, it took me years to learn how to do that. Loving how it's turning out. How about you guys? Okay, we just have one letter yet left. And then we're going to set this guy over to the side for just a second to dry before we put him on the card. So pretty. Okay, we've got that all painted. We're going to just set this to the side for a second. And knowing me, it would be very wise of me to wipe this up. Okay. Now I think we can pull my Versamat back in to work on. And we can grab our card base that Monica's already stamped for us. How cute are those little candles you guys have already done? We need the large piece of Journey that goes to card 1. We're going to add that to our card front as soon as I figure out where I've got some adhesive right here. And we're putting it down on the dark side of Journey. So add your adhesive on the light side. Was making sure my card was, because we've already stamped those in the inside, make sure your card's turned the right direction. I have many a time forgotten to do that when I've stamped something on the inside and then had an upside down card. Okay, that's going to go on the top. How pretty. Tape I forgot about. Okay, now we're ready to add our birthday that we just stamped to our shadow that we created. So we need some foam tape. We're going to foam tape this. If you want to just use regular adhesive, go for it. But if you want it to pop a little bit, that's what we're going to do. Let's see. This goes like that. So I'm going to add my foam tape and we'll make sure I have the right side of the Journey facing up. That's what I was worried about. But I do. Okay. You don't have to take the back off all of your foam tape. Did you ever know that? Really, what matters is that it doesn't smush in the mail or so. I cover a lot of the back, but I don't always take all of them off. Just enough of them to stick what needs to, and then the rest can still hold it up. Now we're going to offset this. Let me show you. You see that? We're going to have it down to the right slightly of our sentiment so that it looks like this. Then we can turn it over, add some more adhesive. This time we're just using regular adhesive, and put it on our card. We're going to go down from the top of the card maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch, and then center it. So pretty. And then we have a few acrylic shapes. And one thing, if you have printed out the guide, or if maybe you are looking at your guide online, that this designer has done for you that's really nice. First of all, she's given you all the steps, which is really great on the stenciling. Then she's shown you 4 of that card. And the reason she's done that is our acrylic shapes that you're getting with this don't have enough of every shape to do every card exactly the same. So she actually did all 16 cards and showed them to you so you could have ideas of which pieces she used on each of the 4 cards. And we're just using the ones that are on this first card, I think. So we need this little leaf with the 2 berries. Monica was nice enough to already get those out. We're going to need that. We're going to need this 3-leaf sprig here and a little burst. And I like to use glue dots on these. You could use liquid glass. You could use whatever it is that you like to use for embellishments. I really like to use glue dots when I am creating something with acrylic shapes. It holds them really well. So I'm just going to grab some and add these to my card. I just feel like glue dots holds them really, really well. You can use regular adhesive too. If you're doing a card that you're going to send in the mail, you might want to use glue dots just because then it won't come apart in the mail. Whoever used these glue dots before me, who knows? I'm not blaming anyone, Monica. Did not do them back right. We had some ribbon here in the studio. I would show a great trick. Do we have any? Ribbon or twine or anything?
I used adhesive on all my acrylic pieces. I didn't even touch the glue dot. So, not me. Let's play back.
It looks, I feel like it's been a while because these that are showing are not very sticky.
Yeah, like they've been sitting in something.
So who knows? It could have been anybody. But I'm going to show you guys a trick because glue dots like this are my pet peeve. And I'm going to show you how to avoid this. So as you know, when you use glue dots, you want them to be covered so that when you lift them, they're still sticky underneath. Do you know what I'm saying? And they weren't. But the other thing I want to show you is that if you take a piece of ribbon, and we're going to just take it and tie it. It could be twine too. It could be jute, whatever. Whatever you got on hand. And I'm just going to tie a knot. Here's the end around my glue dots. And I'm not going to pull it too terribly tight. I need to be able to have this move underneath it. I'll show you what I mean. I know I'm taking valuable crafting time, but you guys, this is a tip worth knowing. Okay. Now, I can keep my glue dots covered so they're not unrolling, because if you've used glue dots much, you also know they want to unroll and they get all over everything. And then as I use them, I just lift that and slide. Isn't that nifty? I'm just imagining everyone oohing and eyeing. Okay, we got card 1 down. Oh, we need to do the inside, don't we? Open that guy up. And we need the die cut that Monica did of Time to Celebrate Your Special Day. You can do it on foam tape if you want. I'm just going to add it with regular adhesive. There's... Oh, to make it hot. Okay, how many on each card, do you know?
I think it's just 2.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're just going to add another one on top. And this is also a really great trick that I sometimes use, but usually on a scrapbook page, so I
Oh,
love seeing that.
Sorry,
on a
Karen.
card.
No, there's a plain one and a stamped one.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Monica.
I'm like, yeah, my die cutting. Don't waste
Don't
it.
mess up. 'Cause Monica said, I'm going to make all these cards, Karen. Don't mess anything up. Okay, I'm going to put this on the one that is blank.
They were oohing and awing, Karen.
Oh, good. All right, so now it's almost like a little piece of paperboard or chipboard, so it will pop on its own. Thank you for keeping me in line. Okay, we've got card 1 done. How about that? We're going to move on to card 2. I'm going to get organized again.
You know, I've watched a lot of card workshops and I haven't seen us do that inside sentiment very often. Am I wrong?
No, quite often we don't, and I'll tell you why
We
we
don't.
don't do it
We
as
don't
much
typically.
here at the home office. It's because when we photograph cards, we can't show, usually
It's hard
see the
to-
inside.
It's hard to see it, yeah.
Right. And so so a lot of times we just leave them blank. What we do have lots of fun sentiments that can work for outside or inside, or that are actually made for inside. And I think people just assume that there's nothing in there because we can't really show it. But this is awesome because today, by watching live, you get to see it. Now this
Well,
part
and
is
that
cool.
chipboard one, I love that it looked like a little piece of chipboard. So-
Yes, I agree. Okay, so this is fun. We're going to do a window where our sentiment is popped up and peeks outside the window. But we're going to start with our stenciling. So let's move our Versamat out of the way again. And this time we're going to be using that quadrant, the circle quadrant, that's the size of a standard card front. So find that guy. And we're going to be using Glacier ink, Journey ink, which we already have out, and Lagoon ink. So this is going to be a monochromatic card as well, but just different shades of blues. All right, we're going to start with our lightest color. So let's put down our piece. I'm just going to grab some tape again. Make sure it's where you guys can see it. Then we need our stencil that is the card front with the quadrants. And I'm going to try and help you see which one you need. I'm going to bring in my guide for a second because our designer has tried to help us. And you can see here, there are 2 stencils that are part of the quadrants. We need to find one that has a little solid one here, a striped one, and then another striped one. Aha, found it. Okay, so once you've found that, let's see, where's my Lagoon cardstock? It looks like this. So we've got a little partial quadrant that's solid up here in the right-hand corner. Then we've got 2 partial quadrants that go across from it that are striped with horizontal stripes. And that's going to go next. We're going to take this onto our card so that this little tiny partial one is kind of right up in the corner. Not quite to the edge. And then I'm going to tape it down. I'm going to throw away all the other tape that I keep just piling up over here.
Huge, massive tape ball like I did the last
Well,
2
I
days.
kept reaching for it, and I got to throw that away, or else I'm going to.
And you're
put my
so brave
fingers
to
on it.
use that. Like my stencil always moved using that tape.
Well, I
I'm
also
always
hold my
watching.
stencil with my fingers just to be safe.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to do this layer with Glacier. And this stencil we don't have to be as careful with as far as how we put our ink through it. The striped ones we do have to be a little more careful because the stripes are long. You want that pretty continuous line of ink that doesn't look blobby. On these, they're a little bit harder to line up, but the benefit of these is that you just can put your brush down and go to town. So I'm just going to ink my brush up and just start kind of working in little circles. And always remember there's probably more ink in there than it looks like there is. So pretty. So you can see how quickly I'm just putting this ink on. I don't even have to stop and think and take my time. The most important thing to do on this is just hold my stencil nice and still. So we got our glacier layer on. And I'm going to lift this off and wipe it off really carefully. So many noises, it feels like an ASMR video. Okay, that's
My favorite.
I know. Cassidy actually is who introduced me to this about a year ago. I was like, that is not even a real thing. No way. People just watch videos to listen to the sounds.
Yeah.
But it is. It's a thing.
I think that's also maybe why when we asked yesterday, people like to craft in silence.
Uh-huh.
They like hearing their supplies in
Maybe.
action, maybe.
Yeah. Good theory, Cassidy. We're trying to
The
make sense
tearing
out
of
of this.
the paper, the pouncing of the stamp pad, you know.
That's really funny that you brought that up. I'm going to tell a story once we figure out the next stencil. Okay, our next layer has one little partial quadrant that's solid at the top. And that's all in that row. So we got to figure out where that is. Aha. Okay, it's not the stencil we just used. I'm going to set that one to the side. It's the other one. So look for your stencil, and you want the one that looks like that. So we've got that single little partial quadrant. Then right below it to the left, there is a quadrant that has vertical stripes. Then over here to the right, horizontal stripes. And that's going to go on next. And we are going to line this up so that, let me see if I can make sure to tell you. See this stripy guy at the top here? There's another stripy guy that's going to be just perfectly diagonal to that in the next row. Is everybody getting there, I hope? Okay, I'm ready to tape this one down. And then we're going to use Journey ink on this layer. So my funny story about that is back in the day, any of you who've been around a while, we used to use eyelets all the time. And you had to pound them with a hammer. And my husband and I have insomnia. It's kind of bad. And half the time I just get up. I might as well just get up and make something happen than lay in bed and be frustrated. So I get up and craft sometimes in the middle of the night. And my husband would always say, do you have to do eyelets in the middle of the night? Well, we go on this close to my heart trip to Hawaii. It was the first close to my heart trip I earned. I should tell you, I used to be a close to my heart maker for 25 years. And I earned this trip to Hawaii. So it was the first time my husband was really meeting any of the close to my heart people. And we were on this bus heading to the volcano on the island of Hawaii. And it was a long ride. And my husband is he's like the class clown. And if you laugh, it just makes things worse because he just keeps going. And he starts doing this whole sound effects thing he was making himself sound like pounding eyelets. And then I had this big paper trimmer that was a long arm that you would, what are those called? Guillotine trimmers that could cut lots of paper at once because I would cut lots of paper for my workshops. And he was making that sound going schwonk, schwonk, however that sounded. And he made it into like this little almost rappy song. And everyone on the bus was rolling. And all I could do was sit there and go, you guys don't know. You've created a monster. He's just going to do this the whole trip now. But all the husbands were like, yes, that's exactly what it sounds like.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
Jelly Bean. I don't know if that's her real name, but that's her name on Facebook, Jelly Bean.
Yes.
She said, I love the sound of the guillotine trimmer.
Oh, that's awesome. Come sleep at my house and I'll keep you awake. No, I don't have that trimmer anymore, actually.
Karen, all I have to say is if I lived with you and I heard eyelets in the middle of the night, yeah, we wouldn't be living together.
You're right. That was a loud noise, but I was just mad I couldn't sleep. It just took out all my anger and aggression about no sleep. Okay, so we've got 2 layers on. We've got one more layer to add. This third layer has a single partial quadrant at the top with vertical stripes. So we need to find that. I think we need to go back to the stencil we started with. Oh, yes, we do. And we're going to turn it so that, let me get my little glacier, my lagoon piece of paper, so that it looks like this. There's that little piece that has the partial quadrant with the vertical stripes. Then right to the right of it is a quadrant that's solid. Okay, that's what we're doing next. And that little stripy quadrant is going to go right next to this stripy quadrant. It's going to sit right next to it. And that's going to fill in a lot of fun open spaces that we have down below. And this time we're doing lagoon. So I've got my lagoon pad. So we've got these 3 beautiful shades of blue that when I lift this up, you're going to go, wow, what a gorgeous, gorgeous design we just made. Of course, you could do these with any colors. And you could even do monochromatic with any colors. Yesterday or the day before, someone was talking about how much they love purple. Think of this. We have several different shades of purple with periwinkle, wisteria, and royal. That would be pretty. Or pinks or neutrals. I can just think of so many ways you could do what we just did.
I thought the wisteria with the pinks would be cute.
Oh yeah, that would. Okay, I think I've got all my little spaces filled in. We are purposely leaving a few places on this that are empty, just to give it a little breathing room.
Or as we call it, restful space.
That's right, Cassidy,
I
you're
learned something
learning.
new.
Cassidy had me go through some art with her a few weeks ago, and she learned restful space. Okay, got my stencil cleaned, got my card front all ready, and our next step is we're going to attach this to our card base. So make sure you wipe off your fingers. Mine are going to still be stained, but at least nothing should be getting onto my art. And so grab your card base, and Monica, I think already talked to you about the mountain goes on the inside, the valley on the outside. This one didn't have anything stamped on it, right, Monica? So you didn't, I don't think so. Okay. I'm answering my own questions. Okay, we're going to put this on the top. Oop, take that off first. One of my favorite things to do is to teach art. So I'm glad you guys are here for me to have someone to teach. Okay, this is what we've got so far. Now the next thing we want to do is go back to our die cuts. And in our die cut set, there is a circle, and we're going to need that, okay? So we are going to pull that out and grab our die cutting and embossing machine.
MJ Craft says, the stencil scares me with all of that lining up, but you make it look so easy.
It really isn't that hard. And the nice thing about this stencil is you can do it. There's not a right and a wrong way. Just because we just did this order, that doesn't mean you can do a totally different order, flipped different directions. They work. Okay, we're going to open our card up. Bring our machine in. I'm hoping you're going to be able to see on the close-up, because I think it might be the easiest place for you to get an idea. Okay, so we've got our card opened, and we want to cut this hole on our card kind of in the middle. I'm going to put mine a little bit higher than middle. You put yours where you want it to be. Okay, and then I'm going to grab some washi tape, because we do want this held exactly where it is. So just put that on as centered as you can, and then if you want it right in the middle of the cards, centered from the top and bottom too, or if you want it slightly up, which is what I'm doing. And there's an art principle behind that. When you look at something that's perfectly centered, sometimes there's an optical illusion of the bottom of something looking like it's too small. And so we do the same thing quite often when we mat art or photos. We let the bottom of the mat be slightly wider than the top, because it is more pleasing to the eye and your eye doesn't feel like there's something wrong with that at all. Okay, so we're going to go through both of these top layers, but we have our card open. See, there's the back, because we don't want to go through the back of the card. I've got my circle taped on. Just let me show you. This is what we have happening. Okay, I'm going to put my platform on top and run it through. We're going to make our little window.
Jelly Bean, I need to know, is that your name? I can't let it go.
All right, we've got it cut. So I'm just going to lift this off. And this piece that we just cut out of the middle, we're going to save and use on the envelope, which was brilliant, Janice Gilhooly. We don't need both layers. We just need the top layer of this. Okay. So I've got that cut. You can leave both layers together if you want, or you can pull them apart. I'm going to carefully pull mine apart so it's not too bulky on the back of the envelope. There we go. So I've got my little circle that we're going to put aside and save for a second. I've got a bunch of tape to throw away. And now we've got our card with the window. Cute, cute. Let's put this back on the die cut magnet sheet. We're going to use it again in a little while. We need our circle that you guys have already stamped with "It's Your Day to Make a Wish." I'm going to add some foam tape to the back of that. Are you guys laughing at me or with me?
No, no, no. We love you, Jelly Bean. If that's your real name, I love it. I just wanted to know because I have to read the names out loud sometimes and I wanted to make sure it was correct.
Here we go. We're going to put this in the middle. Trivia question. Which United States president always kept jelly beans on his desk in the Oval Office?
Ooh.
Okay, we are putting this on through the window. Does that make sense? That's how we're going to make sure that it is in the right spot. And then we have a little star we want to add. Now we're going to use our glue dots, and we have it all done the way it belongs. Still have a few not very sticky glue dots here though, I think, because they were open. Okay, so I've got my glue dot on there. Make sure that when you add your glue, what is this? Acrylic shape. That it's all the way onto your circle. If it goes off, then your card can't open and close.
President Reagan.
Yes. Did you have to look that up?
I sure did.
I was going to be so impressed. You
But
knew
no,
that, Cassie.
you know what? Someone in the comments did say President Reagan. So
Okay, we've got this card done. Card number 2. We are moving right along. We're ready to move to card 3. Let me get organized again. Card 3, we're going to use our die cutter again, so don't let it go too far away. And let me get where I need to be. Okay, we're going to do some stenciling again. We need that big piece that's kind of the, let me see which one we need. We need the one that, let me double check here. We need the larger of the 2 white ones, okay? And we're going to do some stenciling on that. And we are going to use both of the striped stencils that are the slimline size. So gotta find those. The skinny stripe and the wide stripe. Wow. There we go. Fingers did not want to work. And we're going to use our skinny stripes first. I'm going to do this because yesterday Brian had the idea to do this so you guys could see the whole thing on the close-up camera. We need to go where our stripes are going from. Okay, I'm going to first show you this because otherwise I think you might be confused. We're going to do it where our stripes are going from the top right corner and going down toward the left side, okay? So I'm gonna tape my piece down. So that you can see everything. Then tape my stencil down, and you're gonna want to line your stencil up just right. You can see that the edges are gonna line up with the edges of this. And we'll tape down our stencil. And we're going to start out with glacier ink. So grab that glacier ink pad again and your glacier blending brush. I'm going to get my scratch paper because we're back to the stripes where we don't want any little blobs in our stripes. So we're going to want to be able to dab it off a little bit. And we're going to move with the stripe, remember? If we try to go side to side, it will just ruin that whole image. I'm trying to remember what year that Hawaii trip was, Monica. Do you remember? Our very
First one on the cruise.
Yes, it was a cruise. My kids were little.
I was pregnant with Julia. It was 2002.
That's how Monica remembers everything.
Yep.
Who
it's
was she
true.
pregnant with?
That's exactly. I have 7 children, so that's spanning over a lot of years, and I've been here 31 years. So yeah, that's how I do it.
Just move my
Look
stencil.
old enough to have been here 31 years. That's crazy.
What month is it? 31, Monica?
July. I just had my 31st anniversary, and yeah, I was a baby when I started. Crazy. Time flies, but it feels like another lifetime ago. I guess
Yeah.
it is. It's Cassidy's whole lifetime.
Yes.
Plus a
Cassie
year.
wasn't even born when we started, Monica.
I was born in 92.
Oh, then you were. I started in 93.
There you go.
Started in 92, so there you go.
I was part of the dots era.
But I bet Ashley wasn't born yet. What year were you born, Ash? Oh my goodness. I should have known that because I remember having that conversation with Ashley one day and realizing she was younger than all my children. Okay, we've got our glacier diagonal stripes. We're going to take this off. And you can leave the ink on it for now if you want, or you can wipe it off. We are going to use this one again. And actually, we might be turning it over, so we probably should just wipe it off. Always safer anyway. Let me see if I can do that where I'm not going to get it on my card. The majority of the crafting time today is spent cleaning. Paper towel.
I felt the last 2 days.
I
I'm
bet
like,
you did.
I spent so much time cleaning and drying.
Probably feels so much longer to us as we sit here and clean than it does to the people watching, but it feels like it's taking forever to do that. Okay, now we're going to take the wide stripe. We're going to turn it so that it can go right in between our skinny stripes. And that means for me, that means I'm going to have to, you know what, maybe if I turn it this way, I won't. Aha, that fits better. Amazing. Okay, so I'm going to tape this down, and then we are going to use our shortbread pad. So I'm going to grab that. I'm going to tape this down. I think the color combinations in this workshop in particular are just so pretty. very subtle, either monochromatic or very subtle colors, which is really fun. Especially with this card, because as you can see, those cupcakes just pop. Okay, we're going to use this shortbread one now and do our in-between stripes that are solid. And I am going to use my scratch paper to daub off. Isn't this pretty, this blue and soft yellow together? You could use these exact colors and make some baby cards too with one of the sets that we have this week, have used, or a set you already have maybe. The nice thing about these stencils is they can be used over and over again. They can be used on cards, which they were created for, the size for, but they can certainly line up and go on scrapbook pages. I love them on pages. This time we're going to be making plaid with both size stripes. So after we do this direction of stripes, we're going to flip and go the other way. You can see some of my stripes are a little bit lighter in areas, and I actually love that look. If you don't, then you'll want to keep going over it with more ink. Okay, we've got this layer done now. I'm going to lift that up. Clean that stencil off. Isn't this looking good? Make sure that when you clean, you go with the direction of the stripe too. And now we're going to go back to the skinny stripe. And this time it's going to go the opposite direction of the way we were going before. So you have to flip the stencil over. And you'll see that the edges all line up. And we will have a beautiful two-direction glacier plaid. So go back to your glacier pad and brush. And now we're going to do the stripes that go this direction. You get a little bit of a green look where they intersect, which I think is really cute. Janice, I don't know if you're watching, but I think you should know what a beautiful job you did on this workshop.
She is. She's shown up on the comments. She really did. I love, love, love the look of these cards. They're beautiful.
They are beautiful. And I feel like Gilhooly sounds like a city in Australia, don't you think? Her name? They have the coolest sounding names of cities. My son, actually, my youngest son, served a mission in Australia for 2 years for our church. And when he would write home or tell us that he was being moved to a different area and tell us the name of the city, we'd just go, there's another cool name, like Wollongong. That's a cool name, right? He served in the capital city of Canberra. And it's not spelled like you say it. It's spelled like Canberra. And he made sure to tell us that we were saying it wrong and told us how to say it. So then after that, every time my husband wrote him a letter on his mission while he was serving in Canberra, he's like, hey, did you do a lot of service this week? I know you can, bruh. Did you get a lot of people who wanted to hear about the church this week? I know you can, bruh. That was the big joke. Very dad joke-ish, right? Okay, now we're going back to the thick stripe and we're going to turn it over and go that direction with the wide stripe and this shortbread pad again.
One that I had to learn to say over and over again was Melbourne.
Melbourne, yes.
And it's because it's spelled Melbourne,
yes.
but because I don't have an Australian accent, it sounds like Melbourne.
Yes.
But they're like, no, 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 it's Melbourne. Melbourne, bin. B-I-N, Melbourne.
Same with
Melbourne.
Brisbane,
Brisbane.
which is Brisbane in the
Yeah.
US if we were to read it.
So now, of course, I feel it's my Australian duty, even though I'm American. Anytime someone says Melbourne, I'm like, it's Melbourne. Like a little know-it-all.
I'm an Australian, I know. Here in Utah, you guys, we have some funny city names too. So if you were to see this city, it would be spelled Hurricane. Hurricane, but that's not how we say it for the city here in Utah. We say Hurricane, which actually somebody from Australia named it, I think. Because that fits the way they would say it, right? Brisbane, Hurricane? Right. I just had that realization. We also have a city in Utah spelled Mantua, which, wouldn't you think that's Mantua? How would you say that if you saw it? Guess how it's said? Manaway. Don't know why. I made so much fun of the cities here when I moved here, and then my husband was like, wait a minute, in Kentucky, where you moved here from, you call them cricks, and you call them hollers, so don't talk to me about Manaway and Hurricane. We also have a city here spelled Tooele. So it looks like Thule, right? Nope, it's Tooele. Interesting. I grew up in Kentucky. Well, part of my life in Kentucky. You guys, look. Can you even believe how gorgeous that is? And we say Louisville there. And my husband says, no, that's Louisville. And I'm like, you can't tell me that it's Louisville. You're not from there. Okay, so we've got the plaid. We're going to do some fun things to this plaid.
Janice Gilhooly said Gilhooly is actually from Ireland, but there is a Gilhooly's bar in Brisbane, and then she's put in parentheses Brisbin.
That's awesome. Okay, we've got all of our plaid. I'm just cleaning off my stencils. You guys have to tell us if there's a funny city near you that's in a way that you would never guess. That means you're going to have to spell it phonetically for us in the comments. Okay. Now we need our cutter again, our die cutter machine. But I want to show you something. What we're going to be doing is cutting these 4 circles out of it. But I want to position the circles like I see them here because I think you're going to want to too. Because let me show you. This is the card that if you were watching earlier that we had out for card 3. And it's actually the bonus card. And if you save this after you cut the circles out that we're going to use here, then you have this negative space that could go over a bonus card. And if you printed your guide or if you're looking at it on your computer or your phone, then you'll see at the very end of the guide, Janice gives you this little bonus card and some tips for that. Okay, so I'm going to cut it so that Monica could use this for a bonus card. Monica gets all the cards today. So let's get our die cutting machine out and our cutting mat. And the first circle, if I put this on and this is the top, is going to go about a ½ inch down and just right close to that edge. So I'm going to grab some washi. Oh, I have some on the top here. So that means we're going to have to run this through 4 times. And you can see that my plaid is darker than our sample card that Janice made. And so you can choose how light or dark you want things. My first card was lighter than the card. And there's not a right or wrong way. You can decide what look you like the best. Ironic though, because I usually love the lighter look. Okay, and I did go a little darker on this card. All right, so I've got this circle cut out. We need the circle for the card we're going to make next, card 3. So put that somewhere. And then if we want to make the bonus card, we're going to need this. So the next circle goes over here. And There's only maybe a half inch between the two circles, and this one comes over close to the other side. So let's put that on. Okay. Now we have our second circle that we can pull out. I'm gonna add this circle to the little stack I just started of circles for this card. And put this back on my mat. Now we're gonna go over here, right close to the edge and not too far down. Just so make sure you are leaving enough enough of a spot down there to still fit a circle. So I actually think I'm going to put these two middle ones a little closer together so it doesn't look weird if this one is, that will give me more space between that one and that last one. Okay, now we've got our third circle cut. One more down here in this bottom corner. And we'll run that one through. And now we have all 4 circles that we need, and you also have this in case you want to create that bonus card.
So many crazy names that are coming up that I can't even try to pretend to. They didn't give me phonetic,
Oh,
like Ganaanoque.
Ganoke.
Okay.
You guys you'll have to say if I said it right. Ganoke.
And then here's another one. Buladelah. Buladella?
Maybe.
Buladella.
We're saying them probably all wrong just because we're saying them
we're
like you
looking at
think you
them.
would. Yeah.
Exactly. Secume, darken. I don't know. I'm stopping right now because I feel like I'm making a fool of myself.
Okay, we've got our 4 circles. We need those. You can set that piece aside that they came from because we're not going to make the bonus card together today, but you now have it if you want to make it. And we are going to grab our card base. I'm going to bring my Versamat back. I love all the details on this card. So, so cute. Okay, so we need our card base, so a slimline card base. Make sure you put the mountain on the inside. And then we have a piece of glacier that we cut, or that Monica cut. And we are going to use it on the light side. So I'm just adding my adhesive on the dark side. Then we're going to grab that smaller piece of white daisy that I pulled over at the beginning to figure out which one we needed to die cut from. And it's going to go on top of this glacier piece. So it leaves this really pretty glacier border. Okay, I'm going to set this aside for just a second because we're going to paint our cupcakes and our happy birthday, and that way they can be dry. So you need one happy birthday, and you need 3 cupcakes. And I also need a drink. My throat's getting dry. All right, we need our water brush back. Now, the last time we used our water brush, we were using blue, but we were using Journey. So I want to make sure I get all of that off because otherwise this soft blue that we're doing on this card is not going to be soft blue. There we go. So I just squeezed a little water and just went like this until there was nothing coming back off. Now I'm going to move this over and do what we did last time when we painted and just rub this right on my all-purpose mat. If you don't have something like this that you're working with, you can squeeze your stamp pad like this, just push on it, and you can get ink in the top of your lid to paint from. I'd rather do it this way because then I don't get any water going back on my pad. But if you don't have an all-purpose mat, that's another way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to bring in a scratch paper. Got a lot of water right now, too much. Okay, and then I'm just going to carefully paint the happy. I'm not going to shade this one. I'm just going to go lightly over it, but you could go back even with like Lagoon and add just a little bit of dark on one side of each letter and have it look shaded. So pretty, huh? Love it. Okay, then we're going to go to our cupcakes. And on the cupcakes, we're not going to color the whole top. You can if you want. But what we're going to do is kind of do the inside of the line and then add a few accents. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to get some ink on my brush. And I'm just going to kind of carefully line my cupcake here with the ink that I have. Then I'm going to come in and just add a little bit of shading around a couple of those hearts. And a little bit of ink down here by the cupcake paper. And then we just have a fun accented cupcake. I'm going to do that with all three. Is there anyone out there that's never used the water brush before or any of these techniques? If so, I want to hear and if you're enjoying it.
Now they're phonetically sounding it all out, but I still feel like I can't do it.
Sorry, my bad. I shouldn't have started that one, I guess.
There's a dark hand for that one with the K-A-N.
Oh.
And Makokata is that one with the Q-U-O-K-E.
Oh, okay.
And Gan Nakwe is that one with the Q-U-E.
Wow. See, we got that one way wrong, huh?
There's a cloquet that's spelled C-L-O-Q-U-E-T. Yeah. Words are funny.
They really are. And English breaks so many rules left and right. I'm glad that I already know English and that's what I learned because I think it would be a really hard language to learn as a second language. Okay, we got these all put together and painted. So now we're ready to finish building our card. All right, we're gonna start by adding our circles. And there's not a perfect placement. You can just put them where you want. I'm just gonna put one right over here. Then I'm gonna make sure that my plaid's facing a different direction. To me, that's really the only important thing about where you place these is to make sure your plaid's going a little bit different directions on each of these circles so that it doesn't feel like they're all going the same way. All right. Next step is we're going to grab our happy birthday and our cupcakes. And we're going to add some foam tape to all of those. when Monica was talking about the microchip scissors, I had just had our 4th baby and was busy nursing him, and of course that meant my 2.5-year-old was not being watched as well. And he was my mischievous one, and all of a sudden I hear him scream, and I said, Tannen, come in and tell me what's wrong, because I couldn't get up. And he came running in, and the whole tip of his finger was gone. He'd taken my scissors and cut off his finger. Okay, so we've got one here. Oops. I've got one cupcake here at the top. I'm going to put one right over here to the very side on the second one. I'm going to leave this one blank, and then I'm going to come down here to the bottom and add one that's kind of this direction. Okay, then I'm going to take my happy birthday and it's going to kind of overlap this middle cupcake and the circle down below it. Isn't that so aesthetically pleasing? I love that. Okay, now we're just going to stamp a few little details. So grab your stamp set. And we need, on your stamp set, there's a tiny little star right here. We need that. And it'll fit perfectly on a 1x1 block. And we're just going to grab our glacier pad and kind of just add them here and there. I'm even doing some 1st generation, some 2nd generation. There's not a right and wrong way. I'm kind of just making them go near my circles.
That is so stinking cute.
I know, isn't that so cute? I love it. And then we're going to do the same thing with the same stamp but with shortbread ink and mix a few little yellowy stars in here. And then last, there's a tiny little stamp in here, I think. Oh no, she splattered. She must have splattered. Is there a splatter stamp I'm missing? I think she splattered. Shall we splatter? We're going to take our glacier pad. We're going to do that little, put some on the thing. I probably should read the instructions because there's probably instructions that tell me that.
Monica's checking.
But I'm splattering is what I'm doing. We're making it up as we go at this point. Okay, I just have picked up some of that ink like I was painting, and I'm just going to take the lid to my water brush, and I'm going to go like this. And we're going to get a few little drops of paint. Look how cute! And I'm just doing it right about, you know, in the areas where I did my stars.
And that's what the instructions say to do.
Awesome. So I'm not really making it up as I go. I knew that. I read the instructions. I had it all memorized. Okay, there we go. What do you guys think of your card? So cute. All right, we're ready to move.
Card. I love it.
Okay, we're going to card number 4, guys. And you can put away most of these pads we've had out. I'll tell you which ones we need to get out. We're going to need our Intense Black pad. We're going to need our Mink pad. Let me put these over here where you can see them. And let me see what color blue we're using. I think Journey. Yep, Journey. That's a cool masculine combo, don't you think?
Karen, what color would you say is closest to shortbread?
What color?
Yeah, someone's asking.
Oh, you mean like if they don't have shortbread, they
Yeah.
want to use? I thought you were saying, what does it look like? I was like, I think it looks like wheat in a wheat field.
No, like another
Right.
color.
I think they could use honey butter. It would look pretty.
That's what I was
It'll be a
thinking.
little bit brighter, but I think that would be the next closest thing.
Maybe just not as dark. Like don't like pounce it off a
Yes,
few times
yes.
and
Do
then
it
go
be
in.
really,
Yeah.
really
Like,
conservative about
yeah.
how much you put on there. Okay, we are going to do some stenciling. So I'm moving my all-purpose mat. We're going to grab the big white piece that we have for card number 4. And let's see here. Now we're doing the quadrant stencil that's slimline. There's 2 of those. And I'm going to bring my guide over here to help you guys see what we need to grab first. We're going to start with mink ink. That always makes me feel funny when I say it. Mink ink. And we need the stencil that at the top has a little quadrant that has a vertical stripe, and then across from it a quadrant that has a solid. So I found mine already. It looks like this. Can you guys kind of see that? So this one's stripy vertically, and this one is solid. And I'm going to just set that to the side for a second. So we're going to tape this down. I'm going to tape this so that it is, well, first I'm going to show you how it's going to fit. This is going to fit on top of our card just so that those 2 that I just showed you are right at the top, okay? So I'm going to set that to the side, get myself some tape here. I'm going to turn it sideways so you guys can see. This is going to be my top over here. And this should fit perfectly if you take the edges of the quadrants and make them go against the sides. You have about like a 1/16 of an inch still between the bottom of the edge of the quadrant and the edge of the card. All right, now we're going to grab our mink pad, and somewhere I have a brush for mink. Right here it is. And we are going to just do these little guys. Remember how I told you this one's really easy? You don't have to worry about it really getting blobby because the little pieces that are cut out are so small that you don't see the edges of where you set your mink or your ink down, your brush down. I have another funny story about when my son was in Australia serving on his mission. Another one of my sons got married while he was there, so he wasn't obviously able to be here for the wedding, so he sent a video that they played at the wedding dinner. And those of you in Australia know that in Australia there's a saying that's sweet as. Only Dawson kept saying that in his video, and here in the US people did not know what he was saying. They thought he was saying a swear word, and everyone in that whole place was just gasping that Tannen's brother would say that at his wedding video. We had to explain. We did explain.
Well, Jody's from New Zealand, and it's a very common term in New Zealand. And
Oh.
when we went to New Zealand, I tried to say it a few times, and Jody turned and looked at me and said, "Don't say that. You can't say it. Your inflections are wrong." And it makes it sound like you're swearing. Like, that's not how you say it. That's not how you use it. Like, yeah, I got a scolding about
That's funny.
it because he's like, "You're doing it wrong. Don't even try."
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Noted.
I'm like, "Let me tell you about your sweet." No.
That's funny. Okay, well, as soon as we get the next stencil, I'll tell you my funny swearing story. We need to get the stencil that looks like this. At the top row, all there is, we're looking at the black things right now. There's the stencil next to it. All there is on the top row is a quadrant that has horizontal stripes. So we got to find that. It is not the one we just used. That's your first clue. The next clue is it's the other one. Then we're going to turn this so that it lines up in between. Let's see here. Well, if you line it up on your card, you'll be able to see. So right here, I know, pretend this is the top, okay? There in the middle is that one that I just pointed out to you. That's a lone quadrant that has horizontal stripes. Okay, now I'll tell you my story. We're going to do black on this layer. When Dan and I were first married, we'd probably been married about a year. And I should probably preface it with, I don't swear, and that doesn't mean that I think it's a horrible thing. It's just not something I do. My husband, on the other hand, he likes to swear a little here and there. And I used to get on him about it all the time. And finally I went, you know what? There's way worse things in the world than a few swear words. I'm not going to worry about it. But one day he made me really mad. And I think before that, could maybe count on 3 fingers how many times I'd sworn in my life. And I got really mad and I swore at him. It wasn't a bad swear word. It was just a swear word. And he burst in. This is why it made me think of this, Monica, your story about Jody. He burst into laughter. And I was so mad. And he goes, Karen, if you are going to swear, you have to learn how to swear. He's like, you didn't even put the right words together. Anyway. Okay. Black ink. And we're going to go ahead and fill in all of this stencil with the black ink. And then we're going to wipe it pretty quickly because some inks stain your stencils a little bit. And so those inks you want to kind of, as soon as you're done using the stencil, wipe off the best you can so that you can still see through it to position it. It's funny, I keep going over the ones that are mink thinking they're the part I need to go through, but they're not. There we go. All right, I think we got that one all stenciled. Look how pretty it's looking. I'm going to quickly wipe this off. And you're not going to be able to get all of that ink off of there. Just wipe what you can get off so that you'll still be able to see through it. And I will tell you that Intense Black ink is a much better ink to use through your stencils than Archival because this one wipes off a lot clearer than our Archival black. It stains it quite a bit and it's harder to see through. Okay, so we got that one done. The next stencil that we need, see what it looks like. On the top row, it's going to have a solid quadrant kind of in the middle, and then over on the right, a quadrant that has horizontal stripes. Okay, so look for that part of your stencil. We're going to go back to the first stencil we used. And that right here on this end has it's the solid one and then the horizontal stripe one, and we're going to put that here on top. And you can tell how to position it because some of these kind of turn almost into little pinwheels. Pinwheels. It came out sounding like a Utah accent.
My mom always corrects me when I say mountain. She's
Mountain?
like, it's not mountain, it's mountain.
It's funny to me the things that, like I said, I didn't grow up in Utah, and when I married Dan and we moved to Utah, because Dan is from Utah, some of the things that were so foreign to me, and now I say them all. Like, oh my heck, whoever has heard of that outside of Utah?
Our little dialect here.
Yep. And we are lazy here in Utah with T's. Like Cassie was saying, like mountain. We have a city here in Utah called Layton, and I swear everyone I know says Layton. Okay, we're going to do mink. We're going back to mink.
See how fast you can go on these little quadrant stencils because they're so small, you don't have to worry about it wobbing. So both stencil designs have something that makes them easy and a little hard. But now you guys know how to use them, so none of them are hard, right? Okay, now we're gonna do our very last layer, which is gonna be back to black. And let me find the stencil we need. We need the one that on the top row has only one quadrant and it is horizontal stripes on it. So let's see here. It's not the stencil we just used, so I'm gonna wipe that off. We're gonna go back to the other one we already stained with black, which is nice. Where did I put it? There we go. So find the one with the quadrant that has only, oh, this stencil, both ends only have a quadrant that have one that is horizontal stripe. So we need the one that when we put it on our card, this might make you be able to see it better, just black. This is the one we want. So that it's more toward the left side of the stencil where that lone quadrant is. And we're going to put that on top of our card. And you're going to notice that it's pretty nifty because this one just falls in between all the others. We're going to go back to the black pad. Oh, I'll bet you that third card, we got to go back and put our inside thing in. I just realized. Okay, we're going to do the black pad on these. I like that some are a little darker, some are a little lighter. If you want them all the exact same intensity, you'll want to spend time paying attention to how much ink you're putting through each of the holes here. I actually like the varied look. There we go. Isn't that amazing? These stencils are so well designed. Okay, we're going to get rid of all our tape. We're going to clean our stencil. We are done stenciling for today. And now that you guys know how to do it, you can always go back and make those other cards, 3 cards of each of these. All right, we need our card base. I'm going to bring my Versamat back in. And we are going to add this to our card base. So fold it so that the mountain's on the inside. The mountain, not the mountain. All right, let's set that aside for a minute. We need to grab our cupcake and our happy birthday sentiment that we already stamped. I'm going to grab my sample card here so you can see what we're going to do. We're going to just add a little painting with our journey pad. So I'll set this over to the side, bring in my water brush, my journey pad, my scratch paper, all the things. We're going to add a little journey ink to our mat here. And remember, this is a really intense ink, so we want to make sure we daub quite a bit off. And then we're just going to take it and go right through happy birthday, almost like there's just a little swash underneath it. Then we're going to take it, and I want you to look at how this one's colored, and I'm going to show you another option. They're both way cute. So this one's just a little bit around the swirls and then the stars. I'm going to color mine like that, but I'm also going to add some color to those little sprinkles because I think they're so cute. And I want the sprinkles to be really dark. So I'm going to make sure I get most of the water off my brush. And then I'm just going to barely touch those little sprinkles with the tip of my brush so that they're really intense. So you have control. The reason I'm showing you this is you have control over how dark or how light it is when you do this, depending on how much you wipe it off, how much water's in there. So I've just wiped off a bunch of it off my brush, and you can see I still have plenty to color those little stars really lightly, and to come in and lightly follow these swirls around, which is very subtle and lets those little sprinkles pop. So there's two different ways you could color that using the same technique. And let's see, I know that I need another wipe to wipe up my mess. It's amazing the messes we've made today. All right, we're ready to put these on our card. We have a little black strip we cut. And we're gonna add our happy birthday to that. I need to move it over here so I can make sure I've got it centered. Can't tell on my Versamat. Also need a paper towel. I got lots of water everywhere. All right, now we're going to use some foam tape to add our happy birthday right down here at the bottom. And we're going to line the end of this black piece up over here with the side of the card, and we're going to do it about just slightly over an inch higher than the bottom of the card. Then we're also going to add some foam tape to our cute little cupcake that we painted. And I'm going to just tuck the very bottom slightly under that happy birthday. So beautiful, so simple. I love this. And then we're going to add the sentiment to the inside. So we've got Monica already stamped and cut this out for us. And you probably have cut yours out too. You just need to measure the size, okay? So I'm just going to measure what mine is. It is 2.5 by 1 7/8. And I'm going to cut a piece of black. You have this strip of black still. I'm going to just cut something 1/8 larger. So if I come over here to my trimmer, if I'm at 2.5 and 1 7/8, I need to go to 2 5/8, which is the long eyelash after the 2.5, between the 2.5 and 2 3/4. Then I need to, if this is 1 7/8, I need to go to 2 inches. And that's going to give me this really tiny little border around it, which I love. Again, I need to move this so that I can see the edges. Look how cute that is with that tiny little border. And we're just going to add that right here to the inside of our card. And when I put a sentiment on the inside of my card, whether I stamp it onto the card or use a separate one like this, I like to put it above, center, and higher because that leaves me room to write a message. If all you're going to do is sign your name, you could put it a little lower. So just think about maybe how much space you need for your name and message. You could even put it higher if you want to write a big long note. All right, that takes care of that card. We're going to go back to card 3 for 1 second. I forgot the inside.
That's kind of important because that's the square that we had to figure out that Monica was cutting and stamping. She's like, what is it? We can't leave it out now. So you have a glacier square and this sending birthday hugs. We're just going to add that to the glacier square. And if I remember right, that just goes right. Yep, just goes right inside the card. And again, you decide how much space you're going to want below it. I like lots of space. And then there's room to write your message. Ta-da! We did it, friends. And if you could only see this table that I'm standing at, it is a disaster. I'm trying to move things out of the way before we go to my face. Oh, we're not going to my face yet. We're going to do a giveaway. Yay, I can keep throwing things away while I talk. We are giving away this really darling sweet bouquet stamp set. And I'll tell you what to do if you see your name on the next slide. On the next slide, we have 6 names. These are our winners. And if you see your name, and there's 2 different things you need to do depending on who you are. So I'm going to give you both of them, and you decide what group you fit into, okay? If you are a Close to My Heart maker, then you don't need to do anything at all. The next time that you place an order, then all you need to do is add it to your order. You'll see a little prompt that you can check, and it already will know what it is. You just have to click that you want it put in that order box with the rest of your order. If you are a Close to My Heart customer, either VIP customer or a regular customer, then all you need to do is email us. And at the bottom of this slide, you can see our email address, ctmhoffice@closetomyheart.com. And you just need to give us your name and address, and we will drop your prize in the mail to you. Now I think we're going back to my face, and I have scooted everything out of the way so you don't see it. Well, just pretend it's clean in front of me now.
We should
This is
show us all 4. We need to see them all together.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. 1,
And you can see the clean desk.
2. Yes, I have it all. Like the part that you'll see is semi-clean. Let's see. Where's the last one? Here it is.
I always like to see the hard work at the end.
Yes, we did do a lot of hard work today, but we made beautiful cards, didn't
So
we?
cute.
So beautiful. Awesome. Well, my friends, this concludes our 4 days of our National Stamping Month event. We hope you've enjoyed it. We've created 4 sets of cards this week that are cards that you are going to be so proud to give to people that you care about, and they're going to be so proud to receive. So thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed all the stencils and the fun stamp sets, and we hope that you will, as soon as we say goodbye, hop on to your maker's website or closetomyheart.com. Click on promotions and album retreat. Check out our album retreat and register. We'll see you at album retreat.